Bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite. Fala, minha tropa. Já foi dada a largada. E nesse começo já deu pra perceber que os erros continuam e as falhas também.
Drop it.
Hoje é dia de avião esperar a decolagem.
Pode devolver já, mas pode fazer a decolagem autorizada pelo menos de novo?
Travar a língua natal, né?
Arctic. Não, pera. Artis. RC. Arctic C? É, acho que sim. Caraca. Tem os nicks que não dá, gente. Eu bugo, cara.
Será o careca e também de será o sincero.
Se o Fluxo for campeão, eu raspo a cabeça.
Meu Deus.
É dia de trabalhar na praia, lutear um coco e ficar safe na sua. Fala, meu mano Will, água no umbigo é sinal de perigo.
Você gosta de praia?
Sim.
Will também, dá uma olhada.
Hoje é dia de tirar o maior jogador do time pra conseguir o primeiro buia. Fala comigo, Nobru, fica triste não, meu cria, a gente te ama. É dia de se empolgar e autorizar a decolagem no lugar da apresentadora.
Gente, mas a voz misteriosa tá meio abusada, né? Já que a decolagem autorizada com calma, meu príncipe. Eu falei de você, o pessoal tá trazendo você pro meio da transmissão, mas tá querendo roubar meu trabalho?
De jeito nenhum, Camiloto, o show é todo de vocês. Eu só tô aqui mesmo pra chatear e falar umas besteiras. E só pra não passar batido, hoje também é dia de errar aquele lança, se matar na granada e gastar gelo. Muito gelo.
Granada na mão do Ian, tem uma SV Deus também. Opa, a gente viu isso.
Minha tropa, continuem com a cal torta, esperem embaixo do drop e se preparem pra muita bala nesse fim de semana.
Hello and welcome to our coverage of the Brazilian Free Fire League, coming to you live and direct from the mega city of São Paulo in Brazil. A red-hot Brazil at the moment, 32 degrees outside, and temperatures on our game day will get even hotter very, very shortly. My name's Johnny Cougar, alongside me is Carol Bombshell. We're very thrilled to be your hosts for round 3 of the Brazilian League. We've got great action coming up very, very shortly. Last week we saw some record-breaking stuff from SS Esports on the opening day, but they were marked men on the Sunday. Today we've got teams from Group B and Group C going head-to-head in the action in the Brazilian Free Fire League. So, esports expert, former professional Free Fire player Carol Bombshell, what's in store for us here this afternoon?
Hello everyone, and welcome to one more weekend of our favorite game and our favorite championship. I'm Carol Bombshell, and you already know you can count on me to be your help during this whole competition. So John, we had a lot of great highlights from last weekend. The opening weekend for sure was a breathtaking. We watched so much action from all different teams. And who would say we would got 6 booyahs from 6 different teams, and also 3 booyahs in a row from one single team. I mean, that's what we all have signed for, right? But this is only the beginning, John. There's a lot more to come, and we don't want to miss a single thing.
We certainly don't. As I said, action then this afternoon from Groups B and Group C. Teams going head-to-head. A lot of action coming up very, very shortly with us. As I said, record-breaking stuff from SE Esports on the Saturday, but they got hammered, basically, on the Sunday. Teams finding out what SS Esports had in store. They were marked men, and they paid the price on the Sunday. We had, as Carol said, all different winners on the Sunday, so it's unpredictable, it's exciting. It is the Brazilian Free Fire League, and the action's going to be coming up very, very shortly. 6 games live with us. We've got the 3 standard maps, of course. The maps will be chosen at random. Even the teams don't know what's in store for them.
I know. I'm really good at figure out what map is going to come. But today, I'm not going to bet in anything. I don't want to disturb any team.
Maybe a good idea from Carol Bombshell, whose predictions were slightly off, to say the least, last weekend when it came to map prediction. Well, a former professional player, she's going to be helping you out as an individual player or even as a team player. So listen out for top tips from Carol during the games. Carol, what did we see last week, we had the change in the numbers of points for kills. Did that really affect what we were expecting to see, or was it pretty much games as normal?
You know, John, I got a lot of expectations on the teams that they would, play more defensive and they would wait to the late stage. But actually, this made a huge difference on them because they got more hungry for kills, and they now, I would say all the teams, no exceptions, they are all hungry for kills. They know this makes a lot of great difference in the late points.
First video about to come up with us, and then the games very shortly. Group B against Group C then here. The agenda, the schedule for this afternoon. It's just gone 5 minutes past 1 here in Brazil. São Paulo, Group B, Group A, Carol. Who should we be looking out for here this afternoon?
For sure this weekend, we got great expectations for the teams from Group B, who only played 6 rounds last week. But especially Vivo Keyd, who was the best team of Group B, and so far they are in the 7th position. But today they got more. This weekend they are going to play 12 matches, so they got great chance to be on the top and take SS from the victory.
Confirmation then of the standings at the moment. SS Esports throwing down the gauntlet in the first day on Saturday. Those 3 straight booyahs for them. They really took control, but as you can see, the table a bit more compressed now. And looking further down the table, you've got 2 sides, Red Kalunga and Timon. They are in the relegation zone. We will have teams who will be crashing down into the 2nd division. The bottom 2 go down. 12 sides, though, go through to the finals, which is a lot of teams out of 18 starters.
Today is a great chance for Group B and Group C to show what they are here for, especially for the teams that are in the relegate zone. Today they have 6 matches to prove that we are all wrong and they can do better in this competition. And actually today they can change a little bit more of the tactics, most because they watched it last weekend the other teams play, so they can go to a different drop call to score more points by killing, and also get a better placement in the late stages of the game.
Next video coming up with us. Games coming shortly.
Então, tropa, desde que da nossa saída aí do B4 Flamengo e viemos aqui para Vivo Keyd, trouxemos um entrosamento muito bacana de lá, uma experiência top, tá ligado?
Belo posicionamento do Dead God, e agora Modeste e Autoboot vão pra cima, Radão.
E a gente vem muito confiante, como sempre, não é novidade pra ninguém. Foi até normal, porque a gente sempre tem um bom desempenho.
Abre o bico, seu Modeste! Buia!
Nós pegou tudo que nós tem de jogo, entrosamento, caos, rotações, e trouxemos tudo para Vivo Keyd.
A gente trabalhando junto, as coisas fluem muito natural. Então, é isso, vamos vir com tudo para as próximas semanas. Tamo junto.
E vamos manter o time só avante. E vamos ser campeão aí, é nóis.
Confidence then from Vivo Keyd, but can they deliver? We shall find out very shortly when our first game kicks off here from the Brazilian Free Fire League. The all-action Brazilian Free Fire League. We had a lot going on in the opening 2 rounds on Saturday and Sunday last weekend. 2 more rounds to come here today and tomorrow in what is a red-hot Brazil, where we are expecting some red-hot action from our maps very shortly.
Yep. Yeah, of course. And talking about Vivo Keyd, they have been playing a very consistent game and a strong game. And their basic strategy is to keep with the flow. I would say, to keep in the flow and score a lot of points by killing, you know, and that's why Modestia is on the run for the MVP leaders, you know, and Vivo Keyd, they only scored 1 Booyah last weekend, but the average of kills is like 6%, which is more than 36 kills by match, you know. So there's lots of great expectations of Vivo Keyd today, because they are the best team of Group B. But Group C, they're coming very heavy.
Coming to get you from Group C. Carol, how important is the Booyah now? Because you could get to the top of the table and you could do well on the points without getting a Booyah. Is that the case still in this Brazilian Free Fire?
Not really, John, not really. Taking the example of Loud Team, last weekend they didn't score any Booyahs. No Booyahs for Loud Team, but they are actually in the 4th position, if I'm not mistaken. And they got that by getting good positions on the scoreboard, by placement, you know, and also with the kill points. So makes a lot of different if you know, kill a lot of players and also get a better position on the very late stages of the game.
So the secret then is kill, kill, kill. You heard it first from Karel Bombshell, our former Free Fire player, and we found out last week, of course, that Karel Bombshell is in fact quite bloodthirsty. She likes the sight of blood. Unlike me, of course, quite timid.
And today I'm very hungry, John, so I'm expecting a lot of blood kills today.
Blood kills coming up. News, which I saw about Free Fire as well. You can actually get married on Free Fire. So if the blood's not enough, you can get married on Free Fire.
I mean, John, this is a quite very interesting information today. This is going to happen probably the next couple months, but this is very cool. For the lovebirds in Free Fire, they can get married now.
I could do, yeah. We met. How did you meet? Oh, we met on Free Fire. We were just killing a few people, then we decided to get married. So that's Free Fire. Maybe a first with Free Fire, getting married.
And that's what makes Free Fire so different, you know, from the other electronic games. I would say there's a lot of cool stuffs for the kids, especially because most of the players here in Free Fire, they are kids. The average of their ages is 10 to 14 and 18, and you know, but this is a really funny stuff.
Certainly a young audience, a growing audience worldwide, 100 million active daily users on Free Fire, so I've got a feeling they can't be wrong, really. They must know what they're talking about, they know why they enjoy the game, and you will see very shortly in our first game that coming up with us, the excitement of Free Fire and the Brazilian Free Fire League.
Okay, and here we can see today we got the round 3 with the first drop. It's going to be Purgatory map. I don't know, maybe we're gonna see in the next couple minutes, but like I said before, I don't want to bet in any maps for today, but maybe Purgatory is the first one, and Purgatory is also one of the favorites of the players because they have known a lot of that. Maybe they have something against Kalahari map, I don't know.
Kalahari was a bit tricky last week. Carol, have we seen any kind of distinctive tactics? Have we seen a change in tactics?
Yes, for sure. We talk a lot about Santos from last week, who played last week also, and they use their better strategy to. We talk also about the different kinds of styles, game styles, you know. And the last week they used the 3 down and 1 on the top because the player that was on the top, they got the best higher view. He was using the sniper. So this is a very good strategy because he can get a lot of damage from the other players while his other team players are doing everything they can.
So tip number 1 then from the former professional players. We go straight into our first map. Get high is what Karel Bombshell is saying.
And here we are in Purgatory, John.
Our first action then of the day from the Brazilian Free Fire League.
Yeah, and I know that INTZ they belong to the group A, but that was definitely a fresh start for them because the last season they almost got in the relegated zone and they got the Booyah on Purgatory map today, but today they are not playing, so they other teams got a little bit of more chance to win.
So, Canol, the teams are heading where? And where would you go on this map?
For sure, I would choose a different kind of drop call, which is North Central or Brasilia, because those are the best drop calls, I would say, and more disputed. So here we can see two teams in the Central drop call, and even though there is the below part and the top one, still they wanna have their call by their own. So we're gonna see more action from FURIA and Corinthians. But my favorite call in this map, you already know, John, it is Ski Lodge.
Where wouldn't you go?
For sure, Central and Brasilia, because those are the most disputed calls.
So stay clear of those areas from our former
Watch
professional
out.
player. Had a first shot fired in this afternoon's Brazilian Free Fire League.
Yeah, and something very, very funny today, John, is that
And maybe close to our first kill. Up comes the first glue wall, and we've got a shot to the head. A first blood already. One player has already bit the dust. FURIA in front. Early strike. That's not great, is it?
No.
Heading back to the lobby after just a matter of seconds. Nobody wants to do that,
Nope.
which is why sometimes things get a little bit cautious.
But that's the game. If FURIA wants to have the whole drop call for their own, and they are more than right to go heavy on Corinthians, and that's why I wouldn't go to a drop call where there is two teams or more than, But something very very not cool for Corinthians right now is to lose a player on their early stages, because that can be. Even if they can get rid of FURIA now, this is very, very, very bad for them in the early stages of the game.
And Corinthians a little bit spread out. FURIA more compact. Corinthians, one of the big Brazilian football teams, as we mentioned before.
Yeah. And we got a lot of expectations on them because the crowd, the fan base, are very hungry to watch them, and they didn't go very good last week. They only got 9 points for a kill, which we know that it's very important to score kill points right now.
FURIA on the move. Corinthians slightly more grouped up now, but this is going to look a bit dodgy here for Corinthians, because FURIA are going in for the kill, and Corinthians on the move. Already a man down. As we also said last week, it's only men and boys out there. No girls in any of the sides in here in Brazil. And the action, I haven't seen anything of the other sides, just focusing on FURIA and Corinthians, and Corinthians maybe just putting a bit of space between themselves.
Yeah, maybe they are not face off FURIA right now because they are in disadvantage. So their best strategy right now is to run away from them. But I wouldn't doubt of these guys because they practice every single day of the week. So they are ready. Even if they lose a team player, they are ready. And they are very spread out, like you said. So this is good sometimes.
Not a lot of places to go to for Corinthians, though, if they had to retreat. And FURIA again. You can see the different tactics. FURIA staying very, very compact, keeping the four together. Corinthians slightly more spread out, which could mean they could get picked off if FURIA go for one individual player. But it's a little bit conservative from FURIA so far, not willing to risk too much.
And FURIA, actually, they are very... they are not very okay in the scoreboard. They are in the 11th place, which isn't good. But Corinthians, they are worse. They are in the
Corinthians on the move. Corinthians in 15th at the moment.
Yeah, so now they should score a lot of more points. That's why I think the best strategy right now is to run away from FURIA and wait until the last stages of the game, because they already lost one player.
Black Dragons on the right of the map as we focus still on Corinthians. Second best supported football team in Brazil. So the pressure's on for these players because we're talking about millions and millions of football fans, and of course the Corinthians Free Fire side, Corinthians basketball, anything which has the Corinthians name is always under pressure.
Yes, for sure. They got a lot of pressure on their back. So maybe that's why they decided to change their strategy right now by running off of FURIA team. But I don't think they're going to last much longer.
Corinthians right at the bottom of the map. As you can see, they don't have much space to go to because FURIA are closing them in. They will be cutting off any kind of retreat space. And as you can see, the safe zone is starting to shrink ever so close to FURIA, and maybe time is going to run out. We switch now to Team 1, our first look at them. I nicknamed them Team 0 last week, which is a bit cruel, I suppose, but they could come good this weekend.
Yeah, they are a little bit in the trap because FURIA, they are chased them like dogs. And I don't think FURIA is going to forgive them.
Action then just starting to hot up. We've only got one player down here as the shells start to fire forward. And we get our second kill. FURIA again looking good, and Corinthians look like they could be biting Modaste, heading back to the lobby. They're under real pressure, down to 2 already. And surrounded here by FURIA, who are going for blood, going for glory early on. This could be an early exit for Corinthians. The Musketeers is their nickname, as the firepower is coming in very, very quickly.
Wow.
And fast and furious now.
Wow.
Some good shooting work. And Corinthians, no surprise.
Wow, John. Wow.
Head out. It was a big wow moment, that's for sure. But that's been coming, hasn't it, really, since second one, really.
I was about to say there is just a miracle that could help Corinthians now, because there was 4 against 2, but they actually managed to take down the 3 players from FURIA, but the last one was alive and said, no, that's my team, and I'm going to defend them. And they send Corinthians back to the lobby, which is very bad for Corinthians to go now to the lobby because they are not in a very good position, and they didn't score any points now. So Corinthians is back to the lobby with 0 points.
Now, frustrating that opening for Corinthians as we look at Flamengo, also huge football side, the best supported club in Brazil.
The biggest one. And they also have a lot of pressure on their back because of the crowd. And like we talked before, the teams there are the same of soccer. Sometimes they expect to do a lot, they ask a lot of themselves because of the soccer. But here's Free Fire, guys, so just enjoy the game.
God who managed the Booyah on Sunday.
And actually, I was going to say that this is the very first time we got God playing against Corinthians, and the Fixa from God team, he was the captain of Corinthians last season. So the people were very excited to watch him playing against Corinthians. But this is going to be to the next round.
Still 11 teams. Corinthians then, as we saw, back in the lobby already, a disappointing start for them.
And here we can see the red Kalunga team, and they are almost in the relegated zone. They are in the 7th position, which they should now prioritize the placement on the scoreboard than, go to a confront or to a battle. So I don't know. Let's watch them closely to see what's the best strategy they are going to use today.
Very open here.
That's very dangerous to play on the open.
Red Dexter, they went to a bit of transport, but as you can hear the noise alerting everybody. And this is interesting that there's only one the players in the car. You've got 2 on foot. So that's an interesting idea from Red Kalunga. I think what we're doing is if you do get hit in the car, you've only got 1 player who's exposed. As we said before, they make a lot of noise with transport. You're alerting the other sides of your presence, and FURIA have been lit up. Team Liquid might be driving into trouble here. I just thought they were going to go for the kill with the car, but they decided not to. Team Liquid taking a bit of hammer. He's got some close quarter action here. Team Liquid against FURIA. FURIA who took out Corinthians. It could be coming under the cost themselves. The body count now is starting to mount up here. The sides know who's in trouble. They know who's been hit. FURIA on to 5 kills, looking at the team to stop early on.
But it's going to be a fair game because it's 3 against 3. But now we can see Red Kalunga in a very bad position against Santos.
Santos have taken the high ground. They know because the safe zone is closing in. The kill mount is climbing here, and Red Kalunga in a bit of trouble. It's been relatively conservative apart from FURIA so far, but got a feeling that Red Kalunga are going to be joining Corinthians in the lobby before too long. Santos are involved in the final of the Libertadores.
Yeah.
Right, today.
Yeah, and Santos, they got a booyah last week, so they are last weekend, so they are in a very okay position because they play only 6 matches today. They got the chance, you know, to step it up and to stood up their game.
Well, FURIA down to 3 players with 5 kills on the board, looking the side most likely, but it's very early days. We've still got 11 teams out there. And the action has been intermittent.
This is going to be very interesting for Team 1 because we got FURIA on one side and the other side the Team Liquid. And the Team 1 is on the middle, and they are actually on the last placement on their scoreboard. So I don't know what they're going to plan. They are going to do today, but for sure they should score points by killing and also get a good position.
Well, this is going to be one of those games where things happen very, very quickly at the end. Still only one side back in the lobby, that is Corinthians.
Yeah, and also we got Metagaming, who is in a very, very good position on the safe zone. So they are going to cause a little bit of trouble to FURIA team.
This is Metagaming. Modestia also well positioned, waiting for sides to come. He could get a bit of a sandwich, as you like to say.
The famous Brazilian sandwich.
Still, 11 sides in this one. Been cautious so far at least. Got a feeling that's going to change very quickly.
And like I said before, we got Team 1 between a lot of teams by them. We got the Team Liquid, FURIA, and on the top of them, Metagaming. So for sure, Metagaming is going to cause a lot of trouble if anyone try to stole their position.
Black Dragons maybe moving forward on pain. Both sides not in the best of positions on the kind of side of the hill. Still 11 sides in this one somehow. Although the body count is slowly climbing. Metagaming in a good position there, able to rain down hell from the top of the hill. Oh, we're going to get another side crash. Oh. We do get another side.
Oh.
Finally gone. Some of these sides did not put themselves in great position. Pain Gaming, they've gone as well. So 2 teams going within 5 seconds. And Santos now on to 6. Wow. Things here starting to get a little more dicey for some of the sides out there as Santos begin to impose themselves. Triple kill for them. 9 teams in it.
It is very bad for Pain Game to go to the lobby this early. They really need points.
Black Dragons have gone as well, one of the sides which you highlighted, and FURIA have gone as well. Well, great start for them. Suddenly they've crashed out into the lobby. Now things here will happen very quickly in this Brazilian Free Fire League. Team Liquid have gone. We're down to 6 sides. We had 11 less than a minute ago. We're down to 6 now already. 22 players. Carol, your money would be where at this stage?
Of course it will. And that's why we can see Metagaming and Team 1 playing so hard today. And they came from all the way from Serie B, so there is a lot of expectations on them because it's the very first time they are playing against the teams from Serie A.
Metagaming in a good position, but only 3 kills on the board so far.
And here comes Santos.
Santos looking ominous, looking like they mean business here in this Brazilian Free Fire League, and out come the artillery shots, and they can be used to very, very good effect. Santos now with 8 kills on the board, down to 18 players. Wow. And Flamengo head to the lobby, down to 5, 15 players still out there. It's going to come to an end very quickly. Santos on 9 kills, got 2 players though who have bit the dust already. Metagaming closing in.
And I didn't notice that we still got 5 teams alive. So God and Flamengo, they are coming to join the party. And this is going to be interesting.
Team 0 have gone as well. Came under pressure from Meta. Well, VK in the central position. Santos at the top of the map. You've got God with 4 players, so they look the strongest at the moment.
Yes.
But will they be able to impose themselves? Will God be able to impose their will?
Yes, we can expect a lot of great things from God team because of Fixa, who is the captain team, and they led Corinthians on the Mundial to the victory. So let's see and watch closely God team.
Meta now coming under pressure down to 4 sides, 11 players. God looking pretty strong here.
Wow.
Some very, very nice sharp shooting going on. All the sniping. Got up to 8 kills. Who is going to take the first booyah here this afternoon? Triple kills on the board. God looking exceptionally strong here. God looking like they could mean business. We're down to 3 sides. Metagaming, they've gone after a decent beginning to this time. And they've gone out. Metagaming just gone firm. We're down to 3 sides. Vivo Keyd been quiet. They've only got 1 player left. God, surely. But this is Brazilian Free Fire. Can Santos then bounce back here? But it's looking ominous. God with 10. Looking strong. And God on the move. All 4 players available. And they will come in for the kill here. The bodies will rise here very, very quickly with some good firepower coming in. Vivo Keyd have gone. We're down to 2. 5 players. Surely God will take this. God moving forward. Santos on the back foot. Surely Santos will go. They have gone. And we've got our first booyah! And it's gone to God. Oh, Carol, God then taking our first booyah of the day. They pick one up on Sunday. They have a second booyah. 4 players right at the end.
Yeah, and as we can see here, we got 2 players from God team using snipers. So that's a very good advantage for them because snipers take a lot of damage. So if they know how to manage this very well, they get what they are looking for, and that's the booyah. So congrats to the God team. They only got 1 booyah from last weekend, and now they got 1 more booyah this weekend. So this is a very good start for God team.
God then looking impressive, taking our first booyah of the afternoon. 5 more games to come up with us. Seen Purgatory. Have we seen, Carol, anything there to define? Anything different from last weekend, or was it fairly cautious in the first game or so? Because nobody wants to go out, but poor old Corinthians were the first team to go. So it was cautious, wasn't it, that game?
Yes, I think so too. This game started a little bit more cautious, so the players was, first of all, waiting to see what they can do. But FURIA, they got a lot of confidence take down the first player of Corinthians, and they went heavy on the other teams. They actually scored a lot of points. But the booyah was for God team that scored 23 points, followed by Santos, which got a very okay difference between the first team with 19 points, followed by Meta Gaming, which is a very surprise because, like I said before, they came from Serie B and they are doing very good on the day. That was a very good start for day today. Followed by Vivo Keyd, which we got a lot of expectations, but they got 10 points, and Team 1 with 8 points, and FURIA team with 8 points as well. And the MVP for this match was General with 6 points by killing, and he's from God team.
General, then the 6 kills for him. As we look at some of the highlights from our opening drop here this afternoon on the Brazilian Free Fire League. God coming strong.
Oh, yeah. And I was actually expecting that because of, like I said before, Fluxo. He's a very good captain, the team captain. And last weekend they were very good, but this weekend they start so much better. And now in the 7th position we got Flamengo team with 5 points, followed by Liquid team, the Team Liquid, with 5 points, followed by Black Dragons and Pain Gaming. Red Kalunga and Corinthians with 0 points. Very bad for both of them because they are one of the teams that need to score points, John, because they find themselves on the bottom of the scoreboard. So that's very bad for them. And actually, God team who got this Booyah, their points average on each map, they got the highest one on the Purgatory map, so maybe that's a little bit of advantage for them because of the map.
There are teams who like to specialize on different maps. As you said, God do well on Purgatory. We'll have another chance later on this afternoon on this very map. Our first boo then, our first game of the day in God. What was so special about God, Carol? Why did they take this first booyah? Was anything different than they did from the other sides, or a bit of fortune involved?
Of course, there is lots of difference on this team right now because they got different players like Fluxo, who is the now captain of the team, but also like we said, the match started very cautious. The teams were like waiting to see what is going on, and God, they actually prioritized the placement. So I don't think we saw God facing off other teams, so they prioritize the rotation, a better rotation during the match, and they got the best placement in the late stages of the game.
God, omnipresent in Booyah number 1, drop number 1 of the Brazilian Free Fire League. More action coming up. We've got 5 more games, 2 more maps in this first section, of course, and we shall see how this one pans out. But it's a good start then for God in our first Brazilian Free Fire of the afternoon. Let's see how that affects the table. God in 7th.
That's really good for God because they were in the 8th position. So they took oh no. Vivo Keyd, they went to the 5th position, which is okay because God is only 5 points behind of them. So we can wait. God, great things from God today. Thank you. Great things from God today. And also Santos did a really good in this last match. They were actually only 5 or 7 points behind of the Booyah from God, so we can wait great things from them as well. And FURIA as well. They were really good. They started very good by killing Corinthians in the early stages of the game.
Our teams from B and C groups this afternoon, so maybe as things stand, Vivo Keyd or perhaps God could perhaps push on to Esports. We'll take our first break, but stay there because we'll be back very, very shortly with more action from the Brazilian Free Fire League. Welcome back then. We've had our first piece of action here from today's Brazilian Free Fire League, and God laying down the law in our first map, Purgatory. They did the business. They remained very, very strong throughout. Took the first booyah. More action coming up very shortly from the Brazilian Free Fire League. Carol, have we seen any differences maybe from last week's games? This opener was extremely cautious, got off to a very, very slow start. We had 11 sides in it for such a long time, and then we were down to 6, down to 5 quickly. Is it cautious because it's the opening couple of games?
Yes, for sure, John, because last weekend we saw Group A playing against Group B and Group C, but this weekend Group B is going to play the very first time against Group C, and that's why we got a little bit of cautious from the teams. That's why the game started a little bit slow. But this booyah was very important for God, because this is the second booyah for God that with the same lineup, with the same players, you know, Alokio, General, Fixa, and Juan. Maybe they feel more confident to play together, you know, because we can replace the players during the matches, and that's what happened with Red Kalunga. They got one replacement from the team players, so we say see you later to Alemão, and we now have the Chefão from Red Kalunga. Maybe they are changing their strategy, John, because they didn't score any points on this first map, so this is very important for them because they find themselves in the 7th position. So Red Kalunga should step it up.
Chefão, the big boss at Red Kalunga.
The big boss, that's right.
Carol Bombshell, former professional Free Fire player, how much do these teams study the opposition?
Oh, very much, you know, so they got the whole week to practice, and the coaches they don't only watch their teams practicing, but they are aware from the other players from the other teams, you know, their tactics and their strategy. So I'm pretty sure they watch the last weekend games and knowing they fixed their mistakes. That's what happened with the Loud team from Group A. So we got an interview with Kawan. He's on the run from the MVP, and he was the MVP from last season, and that's exactly what he said about fix their mistakes, you know. So to be prepared, John, for this kind of championship, you have to be aware of any kind of situation, you know. And I tell you what, you are going for sure to experience every single thing, you know. You will definitely get under your skin, John. And takes a lot of mental practice and dedication, especially because you will probably make many mistakes. And that's what Kawan from Loud said from the group A. He said that on Saturday they didn't went very good. They didn't have a very good performance on Saturday, but on Sunday they fixed their mistake by watching the game from the yesterday's game from Saturday, so they could fix their mistakes and change their strategy. And that's what happened every single day with the players. Every day they are changing and they are adapting to the new things.
So Carol, then the key perhaps, look if you can at videos of your own games, see what you did wrong, see what you might have changed, see what you can improve. Study, of course, the best players, what they do, and the best teams, what the tactics are, what do they go to, how do they get the points, the weaponry. As you mentioned before, sniping is not really your thing. You prefer the kind of close combat stuff.
Yeah, mano.
So choose your weapons well in Free Fire. Learn how to use them properly as we go straight into drop number 2. We've had Purgatory already. God came out on top. We are heading to Kalahari.
That's right, John. I used to be a very nervous and anxious competitor. So sometimes you have to take a deep breaths, you know, and carry on. Do your best ritual, play, pray, jump, anything, but carry on. And if you are prepared yourself, just trust your own instincts.
Stay calm and carry on the advice really from former Free Fire professional player Carol Bombshell. God took it then the first time. God, very, very strong, lethal, showing no mercy, very ungodlike. In the end, Carol, who should we watch out for? Corinthians, of course, want to make sure, well, they want to make sure that they don't go out in the first 2, as they did in the last time alongside.
Yeah, it is such a shame for Corinthians to don't get a lot of points, because they already won a very important championship, but also there was a lot of change going on their team. So as we can see now in Kalahari, maybe they're going to face off another team for the very first early stages of the game, but I don't think that's good. If I were them, I would run off and prioritize the placement on the scoreboard for sure.
Early firefight though involving Corinthians. Maybe they become a bit of a target. Team Liquid on the far side. Kind of a half decent showing for them.
Yeah, and Team Liquid, they are not in their best position on the scoreboard in general, but in the 10th position, it's okay for them. Not for Corinthians, because Corinthians, they find themselves very bad on the scoreboard. So I don't know if this early battle is good for them. If they win, yep, but you know.
That is a big if. We saw God also lurking in the background behind Corinthians. This map, Carol, how does it differ from Purgatory in the way that teams approach it?
Okay, so on Kalahari, I like to talk about a lot of the high grounds, because you can use the snipers, but right now the team players, they don't care about the kind of map you are in, because they are using a lot of the snipers rifles. Like we saw on the Booyah team from the last match, God, they got at least 2 of their players using the snipers, you know, the snipers rifles. So the difference between Purgatory and Kalahari would be the overtop view for sure. That's what I always say, is the overtop view is a big difference.
So in this kind of map, then sniping perhaps may not be as useful?
No, this is the best map for the use of the snipers. But what I'm trying to say is that the players, they don't care which kind of map you are in. So right now, I don't think there's lots of difference in the which map you are at. So if you have a great usage of your gun, that's okay.
Saw Corinthians in the early firefight. What's going through their minds? They went out, they were first side to head back to the lobby. What is going through their minds? We stay low profile, we keep out of the way. We saw them in action already. Was that something that they were trying to avoid and they just went to the wrong place?
I don't think so. Maybe that's their drop call from since the very beginning, but maybe they are trying to use their strategy to kill, to score points by killing, but I don't think that's the best strategy for them right now because they need to score points, and we know it's important to score points by killing, but also we got more points from the placement, so they should prioritize the placement right now. So maybe what's going on in their head is that no matter what the kind of situation, we are going to confront these teams because we are good. But we talk a lot, we talk very much about the confidence, especially when you got the Booyah. So God right now, they got a lot of confidence, but I don't think Corinthians got the same confidence. So I don't know what's the strategy they're using right now.
We saw on the opening day last weekend, SS Esports taking 3 straight Booyahs in a row, record-breaking stuff. They then struggled because they became a target for lots of the sides.
Yes.
They really, those 3 games, absolutely fantastic. Everything went right. Kind of everything went wrong in the following 3 games.
Yes, because this is okay, it's a strategy game, but also it's a lucky game, so anything can happen. I like to say this is no one's game, so anything can happen at any time. Like we saw with Corinthians, they were to the early stage to back to the lobby, but right now they can surprise us and get a Booyah, so we'll see.
Again, pretty slow start, pretty cautious because it is the Brazilian League. The sides then B and C, some of them going head-to-head from the first time.
Yeah, and from group B, we got a lot of points on Kalahari for Vivo Keyd and Santos. So these teams can surprise us because they score. Santos last weekend they score 32 points only on Kalahari, and Vivo Keyd 31 points. So we can expect great things. And when we say they are the masters on the map, is that because they got a better knowledge of the map. Not that the other teams don't, but maybe they stood a little bit more. So that's why it's important. Even though if you don't like the map, study the map and all the possibilities.
Voice of a former professional. There you go. Study, study, study. It's almost like being at school, isn't it? But it's a school for natural-born killers.
Yes, that's right, John.
Height. This is a thing we've seen from Santos in the opening weekend. Also today they do go for the height as we remain with 12 teams still. No kills. Everyone's out there alive and kicking at the moment. Starting to get a little bit more congested.
And as we can see, Santos is now doing the same strategy that they did last weekend. So they have a very separated team players. They are splitting a lot, and at least one of their players got the higher view because for sure he's using a sniper rifle. So that's a great. Actually, I agree with Santos. That's a great strategy, especially if the players there are down below. They are heading back to the lobby because sometimes that's what happened. They still got one player alive because he's hiding on the top of the mountain. Anyway,
Santos then getting the one Booyah on the Sunday. And again, it's very, very cautious here in our second drop of the afternoon. Just that nobody wants to go out early. Everybody wants to be amongst the points in this Brazilian league because there's big money at stake for the eventual winners.
Yes, and that's a big difference from Group A, John, because last weekend we saw a lot of emotion and action from Group A that we are not seeing right now from Group B and Group C. They are very cautious, they are doing a slow game, they are waiting for the safe zone to shrink. And that's a little boring, but also that's a great strategy for their game.
And the team's kind of condensed mostly in the middle to the top portion of the map.
And I don't think Team Liquid they are forgiving Corinthians right now, because once more they are waiting for them.
We had an early firefight, and this con also very, very quiet. But it can't and it won't stay this way for too much longer, because space is starting to be a bit of a premium here on this Kalahari map. Plenty of ammunition around, plenty of loot around, that's for sure.
And I mean, this is going to get crazy because we still got the 12 teams alive, all the team players alive. So in the safe zone, it shrinks a lot more. And when the safe zone get a little, very small and tiny, this is going to be crazy, John.
We saw it in the first drop of the day. And we went from 11 to around 6 sides in a space of about a minute. I've got a feeling as things now start to get a bit hairy out there, that number and that kind of result will also be the same here. But I've got a feeling this one as well is going to end a lot quicker. With so many sides, so many players, all kitted up fully as we get our finally get our first kill on the board. And poor old Corinthians, they have lost a player, as they did early on. And all of that time, Carol, all of that time jostling around. And then the first big firefight, you lose a man.
Definitely, John. And their strategy right now didn't work very well. They separated too much, and now they are paying for it.
Team Liquid giving chase, showing no mercy. And Corinthians just trying to get away from this, trying to stay alive. They don't want to go back to the lobby again as the first team, as they did in the first drop.
Yep. And I don't think Team Liquid is going to quit to chase Corinthians right now, because they already got 1 down and there is 3 left.
Team Liquid, though, have to look to their left because Pain are closing in quickly. Got Santos raining down fire from a high position as well. So Team Liquid could be exposed. Corinthians are definitely exposed. If they can use the cover of the buildings, that's going to be an advantage to them.
Yes, most of the teams, they wait for opportunities like that. When they see other teams facing off, that's the time for them to score kill points. And that's what Pain Game and Santos maybe are trying to do right now.
There you go, Santos again on the right, looking down. Corinthians definitely a bit of a sandwich, and we saw that the Pain Gaming made a quick retreat. They could see trouble.
Pain Game, they need to be very cautious right now because they are not very good in the scoreboard. So, and oh my God, what's happening? What's going on with Black Dragons?
And this is Flamengo, and Flamengo suddenly with 3 kills on the ball. For them, you see the safe zone is getting a lot smaller. And Black Dragons have become our first side out. You talked about Black Dragons a lot last weekend. Maybe the kiss of death from you, because
sorry guys,
they've gone first team in the lobby. At least it's not Corinthians.
Yeah, not a good start for Black Dragons this weekend.
And God then, he took the first FURIA. God getting their first kill in the second bout.
And also they are prioritizing the placement, because even though they are shooting against other teams, they are very safe.
Corinthians in a sandwich. Got Pain Gaming one side of them. And Corinthians, whatever happens, they've been slightly better than the first bout, but it might not be that good, because they're in a tricky situation here, because Pain Gaming are moving forward. While getting the ball for them, that's going to go up very quickly. They're moving forward with some menace here and getting some real heavy firepower. 3 kills on the board. Out go Corinthians again. At least they did not finish bottom. Team Liquid could have gone as well. They were in a tricky position. Santos using the high ground to good advantage, but Corinthians then out. Nothing on the point board for them.
0
but
points.
Not as bad as the time before.
Yes.
And Santos, Vivo Keyd now. Santos a little bit on the back foot. We've gone from 12 to 9 sides, and Santos have gone.
Uh-oh.
Not so much for Santos. Vivo Keyd pushing forward. Pain Gaming have also gone. This is exactly what we expected. Very, very slow start. Now a lack of space, and now the body count.
Yep. And I would say Metagame, they got advantage because they are right inside of the safe zone, and probably they are waiting for the other teams to get approach. So they will start to kill one by one.
Well, it depends on the angle the teams come at them, really. If they get some fortune. Flamengo just on the edge of a safe zone.
Yep.
They're being squashed in. This is Red Kalunga, and Flamengo are forced to get on the move.
Wow.
And this is good firepower.
One header.
One header then showing what he's worth. Still 6 sides.
Wow.
Well, make that 4 sides very quickly, as we expected. Body count climbing because it's been slow. Then suddenly it's very compact. We're down to 4 sides. And God, again, looking menacing.
Yeah, and they already got 6 points for kill. And that's very good for them. And now they just have to hold the position and get the best view to kill the other teams.
God, with the man on the roof. General, who did very well in the first bout. General looking good as well. 2 kills to his name. 4 sides, 10 players. God, 4 players still on the board. And looking good perhaps for the second booyah of the day, but we shall see what happens here. Down to 10 players. God looking good again. 7 kills on the board from Red Kalunga. We've gone down to 3.
Oh my God!
This is getting fast and furious out there, and God are moving forward for the killer. Down to 11. Metagaming go 2 sides in it. God again pressing forward, and God will push forward. And FURIA go! And booyah! Number 2!
Wow!
And God come strong yet again right at the end. They seem to have everything on their side. God, second booyah of the day for them.
Oh, wow. That was for sure breathtaking from God. I mean, maybe their best strategy today is to take the record breaking from SS team. So if God got a 30 booyah, wow, this is going to be very impressive. And SS should watch out for God. And as we can see here on the best moments of the match, God, they hold a very good position and they work so beautifully. The grenade launcher gun, and that was impressive.
So, Carol, God started where on the map and then rotated to where?
Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, the drop call for the God team is on the symmetry. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna take a look at that after. But also, like I said before, they change, they avoid the early battles, you know, and they have a very good positioning. They rotate very good and very well, and they wait until the very stages of the game to start to score points by killing. Most because the shrinking zone, the zone start to shrink, and then they try to disturb the other battles. But here we can see they got again more 25 points with the booyah, followed by Metagaming, which is a very great surprise because they came from Serie B and they are doing very good today, very good. So congrats to Metagaming in the second place.
Serie B, the second division. So we talked about God's strategy, which is to kind of stay out of the way and then move in for the kill later on, which is great if it works. However, you might be hanging around, not getting any kills, and suddenly, blam, you've gone. So it is a little bit on the kind of maybe dicey side from God, but so far so good for God because things are working out. And as we said, Esports then, SS Esports getting 3 straight wins, record-breaking 3 straight wins on the Saturday. They suffered big time in the second part of the games. God are on a brace. God perhaps are on a hat-trick of wins in this round 3 from the Brazilian Free Fire League. God looking good.
Yes, God definitely looking good right now. So that was a very good start for God this weekend. Maybe they will get the same advantage that SS Sports team got from last weekend. So that's why it's very important, you know, to hold your position, and that's what God's been doing the whole matches. So the first map they did exactly the same. The second map they went to their drop call, they got loot and equipments as necessary, and they wait. They were only worried to be inside of the safe zone, which is very, very much important. It is okay as well if you're trying to face off other teams to get points by kill. That's what happened with the Loud last weekend. They didn't get any booyah, but also they are now in a very good position on the scoreboard because they are killing a lot, you know. But the difference between Loud and God team is that God team is prioritize the placement on inside of the safe zone and in the scoreboard.
So tactical stuff from a former professional Free Fire player. Analysis. Remember, it is a game about killing or be killed, but also strategy, studying what you did wrong, what you did right.
Yes.
Improving your skills, and also looking at the opposition to see what they did and what was successful, and now watching God do his work out on the battlefield.
Yes.
2 maps so far, more action to come from the Brazilian Free Fire League. We've had our 2 maps, Purgatory, Kalahari, so by my deduction, I've got a feeling it might be Bermuda coming up next.
Are you sure, John?
Pretty positive.
Very smart of you, but yes, for sure the next map is going to be Bermuda, so we are going to watch. I mean, all the expectations right now, it's on God, because look, John, they are in the 2nd place in the scoreboard. Wow, that's a wow thing. That's amazing. They got 150 points and they head all the way to the 2nd position, only behind of SS Sports team. And today they got a lot of chance to, you know, pass over SS Sports team.
And that's not a bad total for God, because they've only had 8 drops compared to the 12 of SS Esports. So looking like, and I say looking like, things can change in the Brazilian Free Fire League very quickly. Looking like perhaps we'll have a new leader by the end of the day. Let's not forget that Cruzeiro and also Lao, they are from Groups A, not in action today, of course, but they're in a good position. They're still well placed. Vivo Keyd, perhaps, in a very good position to overtake, perhaps move into 3rd spot, maybe 2nd even, or even 1st, because things will change. I'm pretty certain after these first 3 games we had a big shift, especially on Saturday. On Sunday it was more open, 6 different winners. So far, God laying down the law here. God looking very, very good. Can they make it a hat-trick though? Can they equal the record set by SS Esports last Saturday? We shall find out very shortly, but before then we're going to have another break. Welcome back then to our Free Fire League special here. Round 3, groups B and C in action. But it's God who have been in front. Looking very good for God so far. 2 straight boosters for them. Can they make it 3 in a row? We shall find out very shortly when we head to our Bermuda map and the halfway point of today's action from the Brazilian Free Fire League. Carol, what's God's secret?
Sorry. Okay, for sure, God's secret is that they are waiting. You know, like I said, you have to prepare yourself very mental, first of all. And that's exactly what they are doing. They are using their heads to wait and don't confront any team. And as we can see on the very first 2 matches, they were actually on the board of the safe zone. They are out. We can always find God on the board of the safe zone, which is very
God everywhere,
good.
Really. if you look hard enough, he's
Yes.
there. Or they're there.
Yes, for sure. So, and that's a good strategy for them because they not confront other teams, and they always wait to the other teams to start to fight, and then they can start to score a little bit of points by killing, you know. And something very interesting is that the last Saturday, SS team, who was on the top of the scoreboard, they start with the 43 points, only on the 2 first match with they got the very first 2 booyahs. But God, they got the difference. They started with the 48 points in advantage of SS team. So I don't know. Let's see if they can score 1 more booyah and break the record as well, and maybe a 4th booyah and pass SS Sports team.
We shall find out very shortly. Bermuda maps coming up. We saw that SS Esports 3 straight boos in a row. God in a good chance here to equal that record, maybe overtake the points record as well. But as we also saw on Saturday, great start from SS Esports, and then they fell by the wayside very, very quickly because teams began to notice and take action. And as you talked about, Carol, God then hanging around, keeping a very low profile, moving in for the kill. It's worked so far, but it can be a risky strategy because you might not get the kills you want, and you might just run into trouble. They've been lucky, haven't they, to some extent?
Yeah, yes, for sure. They are very lucky using this strategy, but like Laudy on last weekend from Group A, they didn't score any booyah, John, but they prioritized the points by kill. So that was a very great advantage for them. But the opposite God is doing today. But that's okay. The both kind of strategy work just fine. But sometimes someone that didn't get booyahs score more, you know, get more points because of the killing. So God should watch out a little bit for that. Maybe that's is going to be a problem for them, but not so far.
It's a warning to God. People are out to get them, and it's all about tactics and strategy, as you said. So you've got sides going for the booyahs, sides going for positioning in the table and points, other teams then looking for kills, and it's working actually both ways.
Yes, for sure. But as we can see here, Red Canids, they changed their strategy by replacing the players. So right now for the Bermuda map, they change once more the players. So the big boss, Chefão, is out, and we got Morado.
Well, Bermuda then, the first map produced by Free Fire. Still many's favourite.
Yes, there's still lots of favorites in this map. So this is the best map for the players, John, because they know this map very well since the very beginning. Lots of these players are playing more than over 2 years Free Fire, so they know very well, like I'm saying.
It is the old map, it's the original map, of course, it's everyone's favourites. However, the problem is everyone knows all about this map, so it's a good equalizer, isn't it? Because I know, you know, they know what's good, what's bad, where to go, where not to go.
Yes, for sure. And something I like to point it out is about the metagaming today, because they came from Serie B, like we always say. We keep saying that they came from Serie B, but last weekend they finished their game on, if I'm not mistaken, on the 14th position, and right now they are on the 10th. So that's very good for them. For sure, that's a very good point for metagaming.
Serie B, the second division.
That's the spirit for sure. And I don't think any of those guys from metagaming team they ever played the FFBL in the history. We got already this is the 4th season, and this is the very first time these guys are playing. That's the contrary of the other team that came from Serie B, Team 1. We got a couple of the players that play already this game, but metagaming, because it's the very first time they are playing this competition, that's a very A+ for them.
Carol, is there a big difference between the top flight tier and the second division?
Yes, for sure, for sure. The biggest difference is the style of game. For sure, the Serie A teams, they are more aggressive. Like we saw last weekend with the Group A, they are so aggressive. They score more by killing, and sometimes the strategy is a little bit different because the Serie B, maybe they prioritize a slow game, a slow kind of game, getting more position. So there is lots of difference.
Two slowish matches earlier on. This map then familiar. Two key questions. What is going to happen to God? And what's going to happen to Corinthians? They managed to avoid going to the lobby for the first team. So a slight improvement. Can they get some points on the board by avoiding going out in the first two teams? We shall find out very shortly.
Yes. And Corinthians should definitely do that. Choose a... Sometimes that's very hard for them to change their drop call because they are so used to it. They do that every single day of the week during the practice. So maybe that's why Corinthians, they don't want it to change. But I should say they should change a little bit their strategy because it's not working so far. They are losing a lot of early points. So Corinthians definitely should change their strategy.
Well, this is interesting from God appearing on our map quite early on, facing two opponents. Maybe God have suddenly become marked men here. Normally, as we've said, God then keeping a very low profile, but maybe not in the best position.
Yes, maybe it's because they didn't get quite good loot or equipment that they need, so their rotation had to be different, a little bit different, and now maybe they will face off other teams on the early stage, but for sure they are trying to get the 30 Booyah, the 4th, the 5th, so I'm sure they are going to be aware of any kind of situation. These guys are prepared for that.
Maybe extra pressure, of course, to make it 3 in a row. Maybe they're feeling it a little bit. These young players from the Brazilian Free Fire League, they are young as well. 14, I think, to 21, as I remember, a maximum age. As we look at Santos, it's been quiet. We've had a quiet afternoon on Brazilian Free Fire, has to be said.
Yes, and for sure today, especially today, Santos got a little bit more of pressure because here in Brazil we got the finals of
the Libertadores.
Yes,
Santos involved against fellow Brazilian side Palmeiras. Palmeiras don't have a Free Fire side. That's the important detail. Santos do, Flamengo do, Corinthians do, Cruzeiro do.
Yep.
All teams from Brazil, but no Palmeiras side. And we talked about the heat as well. It was around 32 degrees here in the city of Sao Paulo.
Yeah.
Swimming pool weather. Great if you've got a drink or two by the poolside.
Swimming pool weather, a little bit of beach weather, so let's enjoy it.
Even hotter.
Right after the FFBL games.
That's right, even hotter in Rio de Janeiro. It's about 35. Was up to about 40 degrees C. We're waiting for the temperatures to rise here in round 3 of the Brazilian Free Fire League. Teams still searching for loot and positions. And hardly a shot has been fired. Corinthians, again, they always seem to get stretched out, Corinthians.
And they are using the strategy using by the rotation by car, which is good, but things like that can happen.
Still, all 12 teams, still just about 48 players. Suddenly a bit of action here.
Yeah, from Black Dragon's team, who's not being very good, didn't have a great start today on this match, but still we're still waiting great things from Black Dragons because they have a very good, consistent game and a very good game.
They're in the middle though, Black Dragons here. We get our first blood. First kill.
New kill leader.
Right, Kalunga. They've been struggling this afternoon.
Yeah, and they should, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Red Kalunga didn't point in any of the past 2 maps. Maybe on the last one in Kalahari they got a couple of points by kill, but I don't think they are very good today. Maybe they are going more down below on the scoreboard, and that's very sad for them. They should step up their game as Pain Gaming as well. They definitely should.
2 players have already headed back to the lobby. Pain Gaming on the board. Exposed here, trying to use the trees as cover.
And you know, John, last week the teams, they got a little bit of tasty about what's more to come yet. So I'm pretty sure they have a very intense week of training, you know, of practice, and to figure out the new strategy to fix their mistakes.
Pain Gaming are feeling a bit of pain here. They're not in a great position. They've got teams on either side of them. And we're down to 44 players. Black Dragons, the better showing from them so far. Early doors, of course, in this third drop of the day.
Finally, we got a little bit more of action from Black Dragons. And that's okay, they are still feeling the heat.
Alright, Kalunga then getting points on the board. Black Dragons also getting points on the board. So maybe, who knows, we're going to get a different Booyah in our drop number 3. This Bermuda map, a map which everyone knows so well.
So yeah, today is definitely the day to get a new strategies, fix their mistakes, and they will put the best effort today. For sure. Mostly because Group B is going to play today and tomorrow, so they have plenty of time to do a better strategy and a better, you know, to get a better position and to score a lot of points. We are expecting a lot from Group B this weekend.
Kalunga starting to get it in the net because Black Dragons are not going to give up here. Kalunga trying to get away out of trouble, trying to use the buildings as cover. But they've got Corinthians behind them, so...
and that's what we call sandwich.
Kalunga, I've got a feeling, will be heading to the lobby. They might take some of the opposition with them. This is going to be good for Corinthians if they can get kills, but they're down to 3 already. But Red Kalunga in a very dodgy position here. Could be the first team to head to the lobby as the shots come in, the long-range shots. Corinthians on the board. Red Kalunga not in a very good position here. Nowhere to go, really.
Yeah, so something that I have noticed about the Red Kalunga strategy is like when they are on the disadvantage with the players, they always split, they always separate, they go to the different ways. So one of them can survive into the late stage. And that's mostly of the time is one header, the captain of the team. So last season he was always on the late stages of the game, and he got actually a Booyah or 2 last season by himself.
All right, Kalunga then surviving somehow. We got out of that one, but down to one player. Corinthians maybe in a firefight that they didn't want, really.
Yeah, even though they are avoiding battles, it's good for them. It's good for them to show their responsibility inside of this game, especially because they need to score points. So points by killing right now, it's essential for them. So if they can take down a team, that is going to be very good for them. But I don't think Black Dragons will let them. Oh.
Some real firepower being put down. And sometimes the players will just take a few pot shots because they know roughly where the opposition are. And if they stick their head up or if they try to move, those shots can be effective. Science, it has to be said, does not apply to Free Fire. You take a long-range shot from a sniping position, that bullet will just travel straight and true forever. As that Black Dragons again showing aggression here. Still 12 sides though, but the players are dropping like flies.
Wow.
And Black Dragons aggressive, moving forward. And 7 looking good, and Corinthians have gone.
And that's a wrap for Black Dragons. Very good for them, mostly because on the very first 2 matches of today, they didn't go very good, so this is a very awakening call for them.
Safe zone starting very slowly to shrink. It's going to throw these sides together. It's been cautious again, a third cautious map today. God is still out there. We hardly see them in action, which is pretty typical from God so far. Metagaming now pressing forward. Corinthians then once again first side to crash out as they were in Purgatory, our first bout.
Yeah, for Group B and Group C, the best points is from Flamengo Esports and Vivo Keyd. So we can maybe wait great things from these 2 games in this map especially.
Team 1 on the move. Team Liquid in the building right in front of them. It's been one of those matches where they had the firefights and then teams have disengaged.
Because of the competitions being a little bit slow today, I would say we're not gonna get a face-off right now, but Team Liquid,
Team Liquid,
they disagree.
Yes, exactly. Team Liquid are willing to push forward.
Yes.
And the Pain Gaming have gone as well. Red Kalunga also biting the dust, heading back to the lobby. So
wow,
this is one of those typical games here. It's been quite. Team Liquid go down to 8 sides. Team Liquid were pushing forward. They fell flat very quickly. I think it was fire from the sidelines, from the edges, which caught them out.
John, what's going on with the teams from Serie B today? They're doing so much today. Team 1 and Metagaming, they are having a very good day today. But not right now for Metagaming.
Taking fire from 3 different sides. Santos with just the 1 kill. We're down to 7. This is going to come to a very quick end. God is still in there. God with 4 players. Santos with 3 kills on the board now. Flamengo have gone down to 6 sides. Can God make it 3 booyahs on the bounce?
That's what they are looking for right now. And as we can see once more, they are on the board of the safe zone and they are waiting to the other teams to start to face off. And that's very good for God, because they get in the late stage very prepared and very ready with lots of loot and equipment to face off the other teams and start the big action.
However, if Black Dragons and FURIA were to go for God, they could be in a tricky position as we switch to Team 1, 6 kills. Make that 7. But they're down the hoe, and Team 1 looking so promising have gone back to the lobby. Down to 5, 18 players. God in a little bit of trouble here. It's the first time that they've lost players, and maybe that Booyah might just escape them and went for a hat-trick. It might not be their day. 4 players, in fact. They were looking like they're about to lose one.
Yeah, but as much as we want to see God score another Booyah, they are feeling this pressure right now. So that can be a little bit difficult for their game.
Let's give it the hardest one. As Black Dragons, they've gone out, down to 4 sides, 16 players. This is going to be the toughest game for God if they can pull it off. But Santos, though, looking vicious here. Santos with 6 kills on the board. 15 players remaining.
Yeah, and Santos probably already know they are facing off God team, so they are taking down one by one because they don't want them to get another Booyah.
Santos are going for this one. Santos looking strong now. Still 14s, but down to 12 players. And God are feeling the pressure here. This has been the toughest back for God, and they've gone out. It's not going to be a third. And equal record-breaking Booyah for them.
Yeah. I don't want it to be the kissing death, but
down to 2 sides now, though. Santos here looking strong. Santos in for the kill here. Will it be Santos? Could have gone. Booyah! Number 3. Santos. Take it. Or maybe omens for Santos involved in the final of the Libertadores later. And their Free Fire Esports side getting a Booyah in our 3rd bout of the day.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't want to be the kiss of that. I'm glad I didn't finish the sentence because I was about to say that Santos is going to get this Booyah, and they surely did. That was a spectacular Booyah. That was very good for Santos. They managed quite well to take down all the teams around them, and they took the victory this match.
Santos then surprising everyone, including God, with Booyah number 3 of our Brazilian Free Fire League. First of all, congratulations to Santos, of course. We've got 3 more games to come. Why did Santos come on so strong at the end? What happened to God?
Okay, so like I said, they are prioritized to be on the board, you know, but maybe they didn't calculate where the safe zone was going to shrink, and then they went to more battles, to all the actions were going on at the moment. They tried to stall a couple of kills, but that didn't work for God this time. And they had to face off Santos, who were already in the action, you know. So Santos got the best advantage now, with the Booyah with 23 points now in this round, followed by Black Dragons finally in the 2nd place. Black Dragons, they always manage to be in the second on the top 3. Last season they were always on the top 3. We can find a Black Dragons on the top 3, so that's good for them as well. Even though if they don't get any Booyahs, that's a good points for them with 15 points, followed by FURIA, which is doing an excellent game today as well. And 13 points for Vivo Keyd on the 5th place, Team 1 with 12 points, and God on the 6th place with 9 points. And the MVP of this match was Gus Zed, like John likes to say, with 4 kill points.
I'll just rephrase that. Gus Zed.
Gus Zed, yeah,
that's Gus, I suppose. Looking like a natural born killer. Gus with 4 kills, so you never know who's going to pull this kind of demonry off. And it was Gus with 4 kills in our 3rd game in Bermuda. God then just getting the 9 points at the lowest total of points in these 3 drops so far, but we've got 3 more matches to come very shortly. But share of the glory so far in this round 3 match in the Brazilian Free Fire League.
Yeah, but still they got only 90 points, but it is a great advantage for them, because any points will make a lot of difference on the scoreboard from the other teams. And here we got Flamengo in the 4th position, Meta Gaming, Team Liquid, Red Kalunga with 2 points by kill, because on the 10th no, they got 1 point by placement as well. Pen Game with 2 points, and Corinthians in the very last position with 1 point. That's very bad for Corinthians.
Corinthians again going out amongst the first two sides that they've done all three bouts so far. Santos then knocking God, at least for that match, off the top slot. 2 boos for God in our first 2 games. Santos then coming strong in drop number 3 in the Bermuda map. We've got 3 more games coming up with us very, very shortly. God then, we could see straight away really from that third map that they weren't in the position they wanted, especially in the kind of latter half of that match. Not where they wanted to be. They had opponents too close, different angles raining down fire. They came a cropper in the end, and Santos took the glory.
Yes, for sure, John. Like you said, what was the difference between God this time and Santos? It's because Santos was already in the middle of the party, you know. They were like taking down this side and the other side, and they got they were more intense during the battle, you know, and they got more confident during the battle as well, which is very important. You have to trust yourself, you have to trust in on your team and your coach's ideas. So great points for Santos teams right now, and they managed to take down the victory from God Team Sports. But I don't think there is lots of difference on the scoreboard for God. Maybe they are still remaining on the second place, and that's what we are going to see coming up.
See the table in just a few seconds. And disappointing for God that they did not equal the record of 3 boos in a row set by SS Esports on Saturday. So 2 different winners then. God taking the first 2 at Purgatory and Kalahari. Santos coming strong in Bermuda. Let's look at the table. Well, the gap at the top has closed, but SS Esports the front runners. But God, Vivo Keyd closing in. Santos now into 6th place, and we have 3 more games to come, and surely that positions at the top of the table will change between now and the end of the action this afternoon in round 3 of the Brazilian Free Fire League.
Yes, and great highlights for Vivo Keyd as well. There's only 10 points behind of God. Maybe the next match will help them to get a little bit more of difference between the 2 teams. So I'm pretty sure God is aware now that Vivo Keyd is here as well. But Santos with 101 points in the 6th position. This team is heavy today, and it coming as well to the top 3. So we can wait and see a lot of great things of this team as well. But Meta Gaming and Team 1, they are doing excellent today. Mostly because most of their players haven't played this championship yet. So for Meta Gaming, it's excellent today.
Let's have another quick break, and we'll be back with another exciting map from the Brazilian Free Fire League.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the Brazilian Free Fire League. We've had 3 games so far. All of them cautious starts. God taking the first 2 Booyahs, followed by Santos. We've got action as we rotate the maps again. And we go back to either Purgatory, Kalahari or Bermuda for our second session, really, of this round 3 from the Brazilian Free Fire League. God then unable to take the hat-trick of Booyahs.
Yes, John, yeah. I mean, they managed to go so well in the very first 2 matches. That's okay. That's glory for them, for sure. But Santos, I mean, today is the day for any of these teams, you know. But not for Corinthians, who were very bad in the very first 2 matches. They were on the bottom on the first and the third match today. And they only score in the whole day today. In the 3 matches, they only score 2 points, which is very sad for them, very bad. So Corinthians should, you know, be better on this next map.
Well, straight into map number 4 of the day, and we're back to Purgatory. God then taking Purgatory as well as Kalahari. Santos coming good in Bermuda. Carol, former professional Free Fire player, so slow, so cautious in the first opening 3 bouts. Will it stay the same, or will teams really go for it?
Oh no, they are still the same for sure. But they keep changing their strategy as we're talking about. They keep doing different kinds of things. Like God noticed that to keep their position on the last match work kind of. Maybe right now they will go a little bit heavy on the other teams to score points by kill. But a very different kind of style of strategy is to replace their players. That's what happened a lot with Red Canids, and they got a little one more replacement during this 4th match, which is Morato is saying see you later, and the big boss come back. But Corinthians as well, they did a little bit of change.
Well, here we go. This is a bright start. Already first blood on the board. New kill and team 1.
Team 1.
Sometimes you can get caught out looking for loot in the wrong positions, and there are some very sneaky sides who look around.
Yeah,
and they pounce quickly. Meta gaming down to 3 already.
Yes, and they send one of the players from Meta Gaming to the lobby, which is very bad for them because right now Pain Gaming.
And you can see that everyone is chasing Meta on that overview shot. Meta trying to get away. They were trying to get some transport. They had no loot from what I can see as well. So they were in a really, really awful position.
Yep.
And they might be heading back very quickly because Pain Gaming aren't giving up here. You've got the bridge, you've got the river. You don't want to be caught down the river banks. We've seen so many sides go out, come a cropper. Really, but the sides here, you've got Pain Gaming moving forward quickly. You've got Team 1 and Meta in. That is not a place to be. That is lobby return zone, I think. Shut down. And there you go, bang on cue. Unlucky positioning, I think, really. But this is a very bright start here. This is more like it from the Brazilian Free Fire League. Big more samba stuff from these teams. A lot more aggressive.
Yeah, but you know, John, this is the last match on the Purgatory map, and the teams have to prove they have something going on, you know. And that's what not help. What not help Meta Gaming the start of this match was the airplane rotation. So they were trying to go to the drop call, but the airplane rotation didn't help them. And then they found themselves on the sandwich between Pain Gaming and Team 1.
Pain Gaming racking up the kills early on. What goes through a team's mind or a player's mind, Carol, when they go out? I'm sure it must have happened to you occasionally. You go out to the lobby, you're the first player to go, the first team to go. How are you feeling?
Oh, like shit. Sorry the expression, John, but yes, like shit. So I feel like I could have done more for my team. You know, I could help them a lot more. But that's the game. We don't know sometimes what expect. We don't know like the our plan rotation really mess up for meta game with their drop call. But that sometimes happen, and you have to be better to the next, to be ready and better to the next round, to the next match. So you don't have to, to get a lot of bad energies from the last match. So be ready for the next match.
And did the best teams have a kind of a plan A, plan B? So, okay, this is where we want to go to. It's not going to happen. Can we switch?
Yes, I mean they should, because things like that can happen. The ARPAN rotation sometimes will not help you to your drop call. So you have to have a plan B with a second drop call.
First team then have gone out very quickly.
As we can see here, Red Kalunga, they change once more. They replace once more one of their team players, and I don't know if that's working for them. Maybe they're trying different kinds of game styles, but I don't think that's helping them at all.
Why change a player?
Maybe because they think, the other player have a different kind of style, a better rush style, and that can help the team in a whole. But I don't think that's working for Red Kalunga, and they actually know that because they did that the last season.
And Red Kalunga looking in trouble again as Team Liquid been aggressive to cost them in the Bermuda map, but they're going for it here, and Red Kalunga looking grim indeed for them as they try to get out of the way. Still just one side of God looking strong early on. This is unusual for God with 5 kills on the board. Santos and God looking good here.
Quateri kill.
Wow, God already got 5 points for killing John. That's amazing. That's really good for them. And if they hold that position till the very stages of the game, they will definitely get one more booyah.
Red Kalunga with just the one. We've got Team Liquid to the left. God in a high position. God maybe not wanting to get engaged early on, but perhaps forced into things.
Oh yeah. And I'm pretty sure we can wait great things from God right now, because they are thirsty for booyahs. They already experienced 2 booyahs today, and they are thirsty for booyahs. They are thirsty for the victory, and they are they don't feel sorry for the other teams for sure. But five points in the early stages of the game, that's very good for God. And FURIA team today also, they seem very, very aggressive today. They are going to a lot of mano-manos battles. And probably they will take down the team 1 and send them straight back to the lobby.
Certainly a lot of one-on-one stuff here. That's not a great place to be on that bridge, to be honest. Vivo Keyd can get caught out. And Team 1 being forced back, but he got FURIA to their right, and FURIA in good positions. And then Vivo Keyd deciding to do a runner there.
Yeah, they noticed the battle that was going on, and it was like, uh-oh, I'm not staying here. I'm out of here. Something I have a very disapproval is to battle to face off the team outside of the safe zone, because that's very complicated to get points, because the safe zone won't help you.
You really cannot hang around for too long outside the safe zone.
Yep.
It's the dynamic different, of course, in this Free Fire Brazilian League. Body count rising. Still 11 sides in it.
This is the third match of today, and we can see more aggressive stuffs from the teams, right?
Explain the situation here, Carol. That's unusual sight. So many sides in those kind of positions.
Even though we saw one of the players from Vivo Keyd avoiding the battle, they were aware that the battle was going on, and they know like when something is happening in between other two teams, they know their armor is going to be a little bit low of life and everything is going to happen. So Vivo Keyd wait for the battle, and now they are here on the action to take down FURIA team. They were cautious in the beginning, but right now they came for it.
Can be all about timing, of course, knowing when your opponent's the most vulnerable, knowing when you can nip in and get some glory, get some kills, get some loot as well. It's all about robbing the dead. It's a kind of morbid sometimes. No mercy, no morals in Free Fire, I'm afraid.
And that was a tricky safe zone right now, because sometimes the safe zone goes to the middle of the map, and we can see Brasilia is the very middle, but also it went a little bit up. I tried to study many times the safe zone, how it shrinks, but it's impossible. You know, it's something that only Free Fire can do. But that's good for God that they are inside of the safe zone, and probably they got the best of the views because they are on the top and they can see their opponents, where they came from, and kill one by one. That's good for God. So let's wait and see if they can get the 30 Booyah today.
God and Santos, the two teams with the Booyahs so far in round 3 of the Brazilian Free Fire League. Corinthians still out there.
Yes, finally Corinthians is surviving. But we still got 11 teams alive. So if Corinthians is down right in this moment, they won't score again, because remember, the 2 bottom teams on the scoreboard, they don't score. They don't get any points.
Corinthians desperate to, as the fire comes down, sometimes those vehicles not quite fast enough to get you out of trouble. Corinthians desperate to finish in the top 10. Drizzy on the move, trying to get out of the way, because he's all alone and trying to put some distance between himself and everybody else. May not last too long though.
Yep. I don't think they will, because these guys, they really are, you know, aware about everything, and they wanted to take down all the teams to get advantage on the competition. If they take down team 1, that there's only got 1 player, that's a great advantage of them, because for example, if Black Dragons that got the whole team go back to the lobby right now, they don't score any points. But especially on this map, Group B, they got FURIA with more points on Purgatory map. And FURIA showed us a lot of great stuffs, but right now they only got 2 players alive, so this is going to be a little bit difficult for them. But also Vivo Keyd got a great performance on Purgatory map, so let's wait and see.
Teams being thrown closer and closer together. Still 11 teams out there. 4th map of the afternoon. We're back at Purgatory.
And this 4th match started a little bit more, you know, intense, a little more of aggressive. We could see a lot of teams going, you know, for the battles finally. Maybe they were just trying to fill the competition on the 3 first rounds, but now it's time to do something. And I might say, they still got a very good position, and they got a lot of expectations to get a Booyah this time.
Santos again with the high ground. That is the way they roll. That's what they've done throughout the competition days. Served them well last weekend. They've got a Booyah so far here. No kills on the board though. Getting that Booyah is not the be-all and end-all in Free Fire.
That's an excellent position for Santos as well.
And Corinthians, Vivo Keyd going in on Payne. Maybe Corinthians can join the party as well, because Payne not in a great position here, so maybe chance for Corinthians to pick up some points. as well if they can angle their firepower from the right positions. Vivo Keyd 4 kills on the board.
This is a great chance for Pain Gaming to get points or avoid the battle to get points by placement, but
Vivo Keyd then pressing forward here. 5 kills on the board for them already, making that 6 and moving forward with some real aggression, and Pain Gaming have gone out.
That was quick.
Very quick and very deadly.
Yes, because now Corinthians noticed the battle between the other two games, the other two player teams, and now they are joining the party.
Corinthians then finally make it into the top 10 survivors, top 9, top 8 in fact, as Team Wongo.
Phew.
So this is going to be a better showing, their best showing for Corinthians so far. We've still got the teams who took the Booyahs. Santos and God still out there.
Santos maybe got the expectation to get another Booyah right now. And oh, the grenade launcher, John. Yes!
Effective and deadly when used properly.
Mm-hmm.
And then teams following it up. And Flamengo have gone down to 7.
That was quick as well because of the grenade launcher that takes a lot of damage from the other players. As we could see, they... Oh, there's going FURIA as well.
Santos pressing forward. We saw that Santos had nothing on the board, and suddenly they're up to 4 kills. Make that 6 kills. FURIA have gone down to 6, 19 players. God and Santos are out there. God then... they had 5 early on. Mrs. Santos had nothing, suddenly got 6. So they've become a lot more aggressive, pushing forward. God at the top of the map, looking down their favourite position. Waiting for teams to weaken each other before they come in for the kill. Team Liquid, nothing on the board for them, but down to 2 players. And Vivo Keyd, they've gone out as well, amongst the sides who've been getting the points. Santos then suddenly looking strong here. Can Santos make it a brace? Black Dragons pushing forward, and Black Dragons down to 2. And looking a bit dangerous for them as well, down to 3 now. They could be crashing out a second. Team Liquid have gone down to 3.
Shut down.
Black Dragons crashing out. This is going to be the moment. Santos looking strong, but they've got God right in the top corner. This is going to be a great afternoon, finally, for Corinthians. Now, who is going to go for it here? Because might be that position. Santos, you can see those shots, those sniper shots coming down, hoping for someone from God just to stick their head out. And who knows, maybe Corinthians can nip in here and do something. But firepower from God is being rained down on Santos. God with 7 now.
Wow.
And they keep piling on the pressure. God suddenly looking strong here. Santos thought they were in a good position.
That's going to be a very interesting battle between God team and Santos.
Down to 2. Santos have gone. God against Corinthians. Corinthians, can they pull a surprise off here? But it's God who are looking strong. God looking 12 kills. God looking good. Booyah! And it's going to be God to take their 3rd of the afternoon.
Not 3 in a row, Joe, but still 3 Booyahs for God today. And maybe they are getting much closer of SS Sports team. Maybe they will be on the top of the scoreboard today. We don't know. We're going to see in a couple minutes. But wow, that was an excellent battle for God. Once more, they wait for the late stages of the game. They hold a good position, and they didn't fear a thing.
They were in a kind of triangle situation there, really, and they came strong right at the end, as you said. Came back strong and took full advantage of that fire position to push forward at both Santos on one side and Corinthians on the other. So hard-fought win, hard-fought booyah for God, who've made it 3 in the afternoon for them. Santos then the one, but God the side. As SS Esports were in the opening day last weekend, God the side to beat.
Yes, for sure. And God got 24 points with this Booyah. It was an spectacular Booyah. It was very, very, very awesome. So in the second place we got Santos with 15 points, which will help them a lot on the scoreboard as well, and we can see Santos going up a little bit more in each match. But also Vivo Keyd, it's by them, so Vivo Keyd is also getting a very good position in the third place. It's okay. In the fourth place we got Black Dragons. In the fifth place, Corinthians. I don't think this is... Oh, okay. In the fifth position, we got Corinthians with 9 points. And T-Liquid in the sixth position with 7 points. And the MVP of this match was General, once more, with 5 kill points. That was very good for Goa team.
Second time, I think, General's been the MVP this afternoon from the Brazilian Free Fire League, but good showing for Corinthians then. Not only did they avoid going out amongst the first two sides, they made it to second place.
Yeah, in the seventh position we got FURIA, followed by Team 1, Pain Gaming, Flamengo, and sadly, Red Kalungas with 0 points, John. 0 points for Red Kalunga, which is very bad for them because they are in one of the worst positions on the scoreboard, and Meta Gaming, who was doing so well during this all matches, is on the very bad position right now on this match, but still got 2 more games to come, so we will see what these guys can do.
Oh God, very strong right at the end when they faced either Corinthians and Santos, and took them both down with some fine sharpshooting third booyah of the afternoon for God, and they remain the side to beat. Can they make it number 4? We've got 2 more games to come, so chances for God to really impress. We're going to take a look at the league situation in a second, but surely they will be closing in on SS Esports very shortly, if, Carol, they haven't already overtaken.
I am very excited to see the scoreboard right now, because, I mean, I'm pretty much sure they already taken the first place in the scoreboard, which will let SS Sports team, who is at home today, very mad. They will going to be very mad, which is good for us because next weekend they will come very aggressive. They will come thirsty to take the victory again and to be on the top. So, but God, today, I'm speechless for them. They are doing so good today, for sure. 30 booyah today. That's impressive.
Quietish Sunday, last Sunday for God, but as Carol said, looking strong, looking like the side to beat. We've got 2 more bouts, 2 more drops coming up very, very shortly in this Brazilian Free Fire League, and a lot to play for. Santos then showing what they can do. Corinthians then coming good in drop number 4. How can they, well, what will they show in the next few rounds? We shall find out very shortly when we head to our next map in this Brazilian Free Fire League.
Yes, so Corinthians, they were very good in this last match. Finally, they got on the top 3, which is good for them because finally they scored points, because on the very 3 matches they only scored 2 points. So now they got 9 more points, which is good for them. That changed a little bit of their situation, but they should keep the same consistency during the other matches. They should, prioritize the placement. Like, that's pretty much God's game, what God's team is doing right now. They are prioritize the placement in the safe zone, and they are getting the best position. They are rotating very good, very quickly, so this is very good for them. So God, congrats. Today is the day for you guys.
Occasionally, God moves in mysterious ways, and God has moved to the top of the table.
Oh wow, they are in the first position. Finally, they pass over SS Sports team with a very big difference of points, and we still got 2 more rounds, 2 more games coming up, which is going to help them a lot to have this big of difference from SS Sports team. But also Vivo Keyd, they are very good in the game. They got 128 points, and Santos. Santos is pretty close to Vivo Keyd, and I'm pretty sure if Santos keep the same kind of style of game today, they are probably taking the third or the second place today.
God, Vivo Keyd and Santos dominating proceedings, because there's a bit of a gap. Those sides there from 5th to 9th, all from Group A, not in action here, but still in a good position. So it really is up to the teams from 10th down to 18th to take advantage, to get some more points on the board and to close the gap on the sides above them. Red Kalunga, Pain Gaming, the two teams in the red zone, but two teams in the relegation zone. Corinthians eased their relegation fears in the last bout. More action coming up shortly as we go into another break. And welcome back to our coverage of the Brazilian Free Fire League, live and direct from São Paulo in Brazil. We've had some good stuff from God, laying down the gauntlet here this afternoon. Santos, though, in with a shout. Vivo Keyd also looking strong. Who will take the final two bouts, the final two drops of the afternoon? We're going to find out very shortly. We've had Bermuda. We've got two more maps coming up. Purgatory, Kalahari, one of those will be up very, very shortly. God looking strong, especially right at the end, Carol, when they took out Santos and Corinthians.
Yes, yes, for sure. God, I mean, I don't know it's because of their name God, but they got the look today, for sure. And actually, with the 30 Booyah of God in this competition, make them the leader of Booyahs. So, in this fourth season, so far, God is the leader of the Booyahs. So, especially on the Purgatory maps, and we can wait great things actually in the next maps coming up, Kalahari or Bermuda, we don't know, but God for sure is already the leader of the Booyahs in this competition.
God, top of the league then, knocking SS Esports from their top perch, but Santos closing in, Vivo Keyd closing in. We're going to see a very different looking league table by the end of this afternoon. We've got Game 5 coming up very, very shortly. Game 4, we saw a more aggressive start, more like the Brazilian style from these teams from BNC. Carol, what are we going to see in Game 5 and 6, the crucial matches?
I hope a lot of action as well. Like we were talking about, the 3 first matches was for the teams to feel the vibe of the game, you know, to see in which high ground they were stepping. So that was a very interesting experience for them. But right now is the second map, the second time they were playing Kalahari or Bermuda, we don't know yet, but they already feel more confident, you know. And they keep it like different from last weekend. We didn't got a lot of replacements on the teams, but this weekend the teams keeping change and replacing the players. So for this 5th match, the Team Liquid they are saying goodbye for a while to Peusada, and Looking is coming. And once more, Red Kalunga, they are changing the players, they are replacing the players. So one Heda, it's out of this next match, and Murato is coming up. But I don't think if that's a very good strategy for them, John, because change all the time the players, change also the game style. I mean, we have the captain, the team captain that says everything they have to do during the match, but also the players, sometimes they are more used to the other player, so this can mess up a little bit with their game.
And we're moving towards games 5 and 6, and mentally, of course, Carol, it does become very tiring for these young minds. These young aggressive minds, of course, these natural born killers, but still a big ask to get them to focus on so many different things that go on in Free Fire, from the tactics to the choice of weapons to the positioning to looking around at the opponents and keeping that same intensity. It is hard.
Yes, definitely it is hard, especially because you're talking about the age, and we got the average of the age here. So the oldest one is only 21 years old. He's still a kid, right? So he's, you know, kind of, but the youngest one, he got 14 years old, and how this pressure of the game can sometimes, you know, mess up with your head. So that's my biggest advice for you. So prepare yourself mental at home first, and then come to play this kind of championship.
Most players out there, millions and millions of players out there, not playing for prize money as these teams are. Remind you that at home that there is a lot of cash involved for the winning team. There's a pool situation here where the money is divided between the top teams, but decent cash prizes for these Brazilian players at the end of this Brazilian Free Fire League.
Yes, and we gotta say, there's only men's. I mean, even though we have a massive number of boys in these competitions, girls are also allowed to participate, you know. But for that, you also have to dedicate yourself, John. I have met a lot of excellent girls, you know, a lot of pro player girls, you know, and they are more capable of to play in this kind of championship. So please, teams and coaches, bring us some females to compete and allow them to show their girl power, and I'm pretty sure they aren't just beautiful faces.
Exactly. Former professional Free Fire player Carol Bombshell with words of wisdom as we await game number 5. We've seen Purgatory, our last match when God came strong against Santos and Corinthians. Who will come out on top between maybe God, maybe Santos, maybe Vivo Keyd in game number 5. We're going to find out very shortly.
Yeah, and something interesting, we got the stats of each map, and we can see the difference between the teams in each map, but today it's totally different, and we got lots of players from different teams having highlights in different kinds of maps.
Well, as we pretty much following suit from our first 3 maps then in the series here this afternoon. Purgatory, Kalahari, Bermuda. Same old story in the second part of this match up here between groups from B and C. Kalahari, as you look at the league table, the God looking down on everything below them.
And we got the Pain Gaming on the blue zone. We talked a lot about the blue zone last weekend, and it's very good and important blue zone, but wow, there's a lot of battle going on here.
Height key for lots of sides, and sniping also on this map. Vivo Keyd. This is the first team we're looking at. We've got Red Kalunga in the distance. And early firefights here. Looking for our first kill of match 5. And we get it already. Vivo Keyd looking strong early on.
Something that I noticed this season is that the players, they are not prioritizing to help one of their team players they are down heading to the lobby, but they are prioritizing the kill points. So this is a good strategy, but also you lose a very good player in the early stages of the game, and that cannot definitely help you to get to the end.
Vivo Keyd menacing early on. So that is interesting, Carol, if that is what's happening. So they're leaving, they're abandoning their teammates. How cruel is that?
It is very bad, but this is kind of a tactic during the game, because sometimes when you try to help someone, you you end up going to the lobby also with this person. So maybe this is the best strategy, to don't put your life in danger to help another one, even though if that's your team player.
Certainly a gamble though, isn't it? Because like you said, like you keep saying as well, once you're down to a player, and in Red Kalunga's situation, they're down to 1 man now, but even if you lose a player, you're immediately weakened. So it's a gamble in many ways.
Yeah, and that's one of the most used strategy of Red Kalunga. So most of the time they are splitting their players, and and one of them remain alive, maybe to get a better placement, because the Red Kalunga, even though they don't score points by killing, they always get some points, 1 or 2 points, because they get a position on the scoreboard. So this is work for them, but it still is not very good.
Team Liquid's looking down at Pain Gaming, who kind of looking for some decent cover because they're aware that Team Liquid have the high ground. It's great when you've got that position, and just for a second there the shots were on, but Team Liquid missed that. And they're on the move.
Yeah, like the other match on Kalahari map, everything was low, and the players were waiting, but different between Purgatory and Bermuda, that we got a lot more of action. Maybe it's because the Kalahari map is still an unusual map for them, so there's still lots of tricky places,
It's been around for a while now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's not something which popped up last weekend.
Yeah, it's been a while, but still, they don't want to, do anything wrong in this map.
Red Kalunga, we saw from that previous early shot, lurking behind Santos. Pretty certain the Red Kalunga player wants to keep well out of the action as Team Liquid get involved. Still 12 sides out there, but we're down to 41 live players. This is Whistle Nicholas. And now Lost 21 of Meta Gaming.
These guys, they are very creative to create a nickname. So, Lost 21, it's funny.
I just wonder what the 21 refers to as Vivo Keyd moved on to 3 kills. We said there's a player out there who is 21 years old.
Yes, and he's from Team Liquid right now. He's the oldest player, if I'm not mistaken.
21 is Team 1 head to the lobby. They're the first side to go in this match number 5. 21 years old, the granddad. Really, and I'm sure that's what those players who are younger than him think about him.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to talk about my age right now, John.
Join the club.
And this is actually very bad for Vivo Keyd. They only got 1 player alive, and Santos is right behind of Vivo Keyd on the scoreboard. So if Vivo Keyd is down right now, they won't score any points, and it's going to be very good for Santos because they probably are going to pass over Vivo Keyd.
We haven't seen any road kills in the tournament so far, as I remember. No one's been knocked over by a car or two, as I remember in our matches so far today and last weekend. Used for transport mostly. Well, Vivo Keyd as well as Canids Kalunga down to just 1 player. I expect them to keep their heads down. Or at least try to. As ever, very little from God, very little from Santos. There you go, Santos, bang on cute. Nothing on the board. We've seen this before, though, from Santos. And they will suddenly rack up those body bags. They've got Meta Gaming lurking below them.
Yeah, and what's funny is that Santos, they only, on Kalahari map, they always go to the same drop call. And they stay in the same drop call to the finals. Unless the safe zone trick them a little bit, but they always are in the same position in the all Kalahari maps.
Which is good because Santos know where they're going to, but also if that gets picked up by the opposition coaches and captains, well, this is where you can find Santos. Could be something which causes Santos problems.
Oh yeah. And talking about Red Kalunga, they only got 1 player alive still, if I'm not mistaken. He's, yeah, and he's with Corinthians right now. This is going to be a little bit of trouble for him. But they got only 50 points in Kalahari so far, which is not very good for them. Maybe that's why they don't get a very good performance in this game.
And interesting to see where God are as well, right at the bottom of the map. Maybe unusual positioning for them at this stage.
Maybe they are trying to prioritize the placement right now on the scoreboard because probably they already know, they already did the math, and they already know that they pass SS Sports. So if they remain the whole weekend on the top with lots of points advantage, they are going to be the best team until next weekend. So that's really good for God. They should avoid any kind of battle right now and get a better positions on the safe zone. So they are doing a brilliant game today.
God on the move. 3 boogers for them so far. Certainly the team to stop, along with Santos. And the Corinthians had a fantastic match in Purgatory. Finally getting away from not heading back to the lobby amongst the first 2 sides and finishing in, let's say, a strong 3rd or 2nd position. Santos and God and Corinthians, so a great Purgatory fight for them.
Ooh.
Here is Santos.
High ground view equals headshots.
This position here says it already from Santos. Lobato 4X. with the great view all around him. But if he sticks his head over the top too much, may get it blown off.
That's for sure. And this is the second best map for God. Maybe that's why they are using their strategy, because they want to be on a good position, at least on the top 3.
Down below, though, that's not what we normally find. God, as Pain Gaming can look down on God. God, though, with plenty of cover, trying to move up the hill.
Yeah, but I think they are going to remain there, because they already spotted Pain Gaming. But this is going to be a lot harder for them if the safe zone trick them and shrink to the other side. This is going to be a lot harder for them, because Pain Game won't forget about them.
Santos slap bang in the middle. They've got Metagaming to one side, they've got Pain the other, although Pain in a bit of a sandwich as well, because they've got God one side, Santos on the other. FURIA could also come down on Santos, likewise Corinthians.
Yeah, and Santos right now is giving a hard time. Oh!
God are in a bit of trouble here. Forced to move out of the way. I think they could see that danger was lurking all around them. Santos trying to take full advantage. Pain Gaming now as well. Everyone's getting in on the act. Everyone's getting in on the party. Everybody's having a go at God. Poor old God.
Yeah, in general, who was the MVP from the last match, is already back to the lobby. So this is going to be a little bit sad for God right now, because Pain Game is going heavy on them right now.
And God spread out. God not in a great position here. This could be an early lobby exit for the 3 times winners so far. 3 times boost for them, but not in a great position here.
And if they go to the lobby right now on the early stage, they won't get any point now.
Will be embarrassing for them as Pain Gaming down 2-3. So God are taking bodies with them, that's for sure. They won't go out without a battle, God, but they are not looking great now.
But right now it's going to be a fair game, because it's 3 against 3. But here comes the unsafe zone, John.
It's going to force the issues for both these teams. Surprisingly, nobody else getting in on the party as well. Letting these two fight it out, because they know God's around. They don't want to mess with God. Maybe they'll let Pain Gaming God down to 2. So Pain Gaming with the advantage. Who's gone here? We've got a team who've just gone out, and the battle is raging. Flamengo have struggled throughout the day so far, but they've got 4 players at the moment. No kills on the board for them. 2 sides are out. 2 sides in the lobby. FURIA pressing here. Flamengo on the back foot. And God have gone. God have crashed out. They're in the lobby. It's not going to be a great round 5 for them. So that is a bit of a shocker that God have gone. Team Liquid also going out. Down to 8 sides. Well, Carol, God have gone. This is looking good for Santos.
Yes, for sure. For Santos, and also Vivo Keyd, who is in the 3rd place right now. Only behind of SS Sports team. So Vivo Keyd actually is already back to the lobby, right? Or there's still one of their players alive. If I'm not mistaken, we are going to take a look at on that. But Santos, this is amazing for Santos. So if they get a booyah right now, they are going to get so much advantage on Vivo Keyd, and also get a lot closer of God in SS.
And Corinthians' new-found force, a lot of confidence after their showing in the last map. Corinthians have made it down to the final 3.
This is actually the best map for Santos. They got at least 32 points on this map in this season, so maybe it's because of their position.
Pain Gaming have gone. Vivo Keyd, they've gone. They were down 2-1 for such a long time. So this is going to be interesting here when it comes to the final points. Down to 5 sides. Vivo Keyd heading back to the lobby. They held on. They've got more points on the board now. Santos smelling blood here. FURIA against Flamengo. Maybe a good vantage point for Santos. Corinthians also in the mix. 5 teams remaining. 16 players.
And it's good that Canids is still alive. This is really good for them.
This is Corinthians, 2 kills on the board. Can they go one better than the last showing? Meta Gaming, good position for them.
Double kill.
Very good position for them. And not great for Corinthians, as out comes the grenades as well. Used to very, very good effect. And you saw that the bodies mounted up very quickly for Meta. Santos down to 3. Still in it though, 5 sides, 12 players.
Are we going to see a booyah from the first... oh no, I don't think so.
Santos getting more kills, but down to 2. It's going to be dodgy for them. Santos up to 7. FURIA go, down to 4 sides, 8 players. Bodies mounting up here quickly. We're heading to another booyah as the bullets fly in. The kills go up. And this is aggressive from Santos. They are not going to go down here without a fight. 9 kills on the board for them. Juan DRX leading the Santos fight.
Even though they don't get the booyah this round, they are going to get a lot of points for sure because they got already 9 kills by killing.
And this would be Flamengo's best showing the afternoon as well. Santos, as Corinthians go, not quite as good as the last time round. Down to 2 sides now. Santos, and we've got another booyah! It came very, very quickly, and Santos get a second booyah of the afternoon. That was very, very quick stuff, and Santos as well, down to just 2 players. Santos showing their mettle here in match number 5.
Wow, that was amazing for Santos. Like I said before, this is the best map for Santos because they score lots of their booyahs on the Kalahari map, but also I got a lot of expectations of Meta Gaming that were in the 2nd place because they came all the way from Serie B, and for them to be on the top 3 on this season is really good for them. But Santos managed to go so well during this match, and they got the booyah, they got the victory.
Congratulations to Santos because they came on strong with just 2 players as well. It was very aggressive. It was do or die from Santos, and they survived to take their 2nd booyah of the afternoon. So God with 3, Santos with 2. They are besides to beat. We've got our final match of the afternoon coming up very shortly. God and Santos going head to head pretty much with God though, Carol, crashing out very, very early on for them.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure Santos it's past Vivo Keyd right now on the scoreboard. We're gonna see this very shortly, but that was very good for Santos because they are getting close also for the 2nd place on the scoreboard, which is SS right now, and they are getting closer and closer of God Sports. And it's very funny today because those teams were the only ones that got the booyah today, and we are already heading to our final match, and only God and Santos got this booyahs today. So if Santos got one more booyah right now, this is going to be very interesting.
6th and final game, our 6th and final drop coming up shortly, but it's Santos and God and Santos who've been laying down the law so far this afternoon from the Brazilian Free Fire League. But God though crashing out early on. We'll see the point status very shortly. I think God will remain top of the table, looking down on their opponents.
Yes.
But not the greatest of games for God in match number 5.
Yeah, that was really good for Santos, and I am pretty sure they already passed Vivo Keyd. I'm very excited to see the scoreboard right now because Santos, the best map for them is Kalahari, like I said, and they always are in the same position, in the same overtop view, and now we can see the best moments of the match, the last match. And we saw Vivo Keyd got some points by killing, but that was not very good for them, and that helped a lot God because they were early gone to the lobby. But also FURIA and Meta Gaming, they did amazing during this match, so we can wait great things from them. And now I'm starting to feel a little bit more of Meta Gaming. They came from Serie B, and they are now getting, you know, with the flow with the teams from Serie A.
Serie A, the top flight, the elite division, the first division, Serie B, the second division. Teams starting to find their feet. As we look at some of the best moments, some of the highlights from match number 5, our drop number 5, taken in by some aggressive stuff from Santos when they were down to 2 players.
Finally, some aggressive stuffs, right, John? Because we were so used to the last weekend. Okay, it was the opening weekend, but we saw a lot of action from Group A that we were missing that also. We were waiting for that also this weekend. But the teams started a little bit slow. They were playing very cautious, like you said. But right now, in the 3 last matches of the day, we could see a lot more from these teams, a lot more from Group B and C. And tomorrow, I'm pretty sure that Group B is going to go heavy on the teams from Serie A. But, you know, it's the teams from Group A. They are more aggressive and they are ready for the action. They don't fear a thing.
Booyah number 5 of the day going to Santos when they were down to 2 players.
And as we can see here, Santos, they got the booyah with only 2 players alive. And I'm pretty sure Flamengo, they got at least 3 of their players, but the safe zone didn't help Flamengo Esports. And Santos, with only 2 players alive, they managed to do so good and got the booyah and take the victory.
Aggression from Santos right at the end, but decent showing from Flamengo, finally getting into the top 2, top 3 for them for the first time here this afternoon. We've got one more match, one more battle royale coming up from this Brazilian Free Fire League. That will be with us very shortly. If it's been God and it's been Santos, will it be one of those 2 sides, or will it be a surprise package who takes the final match of the day? That's a question for you to ponder, Carol Bombshell, former professional player. But surely Santos, God, looking strong. Maybe a hat-trick.
That's exactly what I'm thinking right now, because the last map is going to be Bermuda for sure. And we already know this is the most loved one by the players. So anything can happen. And look, John! Oh my god, this is a bit of surprise. God is on the first place in the scoreboard. OMG. With 151 points, so it's a very big difference. I mean, oh my god! This is great. And Santos is on the second position with 138 points. And you know, even though God didn't got the booyah this last match, they still remain in the first position. And Santos with 138 points, only 2 different points with Vivo Keyd behind of them. But also God, wow, that was spectacular. And we got still SS Sports that is going to play tomorrow in the 4th place. So I don't think they should worry too much about. But the teams that should worry about is Pain Game, Red Kalungas, and Team 1. They find themselves in the relegate zone right now.
Tough for those sides. Let's take a quick break before we come back with our 6th and final game of the afternoon. And welcome back then to match number 6 from the Brazilian Free Fire League round 3 here on a very sunny, very hot Saturday afternoon, live from the city of São Paulo in Brazil. Our final match of the day coming up shortly. We're at Bermuda, everybody's favourite, but will it be Gods or Santos who enjoy the spoils? Or perhaps another side yet to get a booyah here in our final game of round 3.
Oh well, so on the first match of today's on Bermuda's map, God didn't go very well and Santos took the booyah. Maybe that's a signal, I don't know, so we're going to see very shortly. But talking about Santos, how good these guys are today. Today was a very good start for them. Maybe in all the games of today, we don't know. Pelé, like you like to say, is very happy right now, and also my dad.
King, Pelé, Santos in action later on in the Libertadores. You've got plenty of time to watch the games here and still tune in to the Libertadores later on, where Santos, the football team, will feature against Palmeiras. As you said, Carol, Santos took the Bermuda map. God taking Purgatory and Kalahari. Purgatory twice, in fact, for God, so that's favouring. That's interesting, isn't it? God taking Purgatory. Interesting dilemma as we go into the final map of the day then. Bermuda. We're off to sunny Bermuda. I'm pretty certain not as hot as it is here in São Paulo, but the action will be who will take first blood, who will go back to the lobby first, and more importantly, who will take the final booyah of the afternoon. The answers to that shall be revealed very shortly.
Yeah, the difference between this weekend and the last weekend is that on Sunday from last weekend we got 6 booyahs from 6 different teams, but today we only got booyahs from God and Santos, and there is lots of expectations for this last booyah as well. Maybe God, maybe Santos, we don't know, so this is going to be very interesting to watch, and let's see our first battle right now.
They are the teams to look at, but Flamengo and also Corinthians in the previous match had good showings. They've been quiet, they've suffered throughout the round so far, so maybe a surprise package. Vivo Keyd, of course, lurking, and I just wonder how these points will be massed up, because there is still a possibility that God could get knocked off the leaders board. It all depends on what Santos and Vivo Keyd can do. First firefight involving Team 1. They've been involved early on in many battles throughout this round 3, and maybe though not wanting this one because they're down to 1 player already, and
wow,
Flamengo looking strong, but Team 1 go quickly. They've gone back to the lobby on this final match of the afternoon. Not great for them.
Yeah, such a shame for them, because they were doing so good on this day today, especially because this is the very first time they play against the Serie A teams. But they were going so good, but this last match wasn't for them, and they went back home early today. Ooh. And FURIA came to join the party against Flamengo, who just killed all the Team 1.
And Flamengo, though, down. They suffered in their victory. FURIA then moving forward as Flamengo try to get out of trouble and try to get away smartly, but unable to do so.
That's very funny of FURIA, because I remember last season they always come after some battle happened. So FURIA team, they are always waiting for something going on, and they spotted the fight between Flamengo and Team 1 and joined the party, because they know that Flamengo was not very good with equipment, with loot, and with the armor and helmet, and they took advantage of it and sent at least two of the teams from Flamengo back to the lobby.
Team 1 have gone. Flamengo down to 1 player. Red Kalunga a little bit spread out. Sometimes you've got players acting as bait as metagame in look on. No sign of God, no sign of Santos early on in this Bermuda map. Match number 6 of the day.
So we got lots of pressure on Santos and also on God, because they were the only teams that got booyahs on the match so far. But for the map of Bermuda between God and Santos, I would say that Santos is taking advantage of the map because they are on the 50th position of better performance on this map. And right behind God, but this is going to be very interesting to watch one of these teams because we are waiting for one of them to take the victory, but also anything can happen. Maybe Red Kalunga that didn't got any booyah so far, or it's going very bad today. Maybe they will get the booyah this time, this match. We don't know. Anything can happen.
It would be the shock of the day, though, if Red Kalunga can take a booyah. But we've seen teams such as Corinthians, such as Flamengo, improve as this round 3 match day has continued. So maybe a surprise package will come in, snatch a booyah from God and from Santos. They are the heavy favourites in match number 6.
Yeah, and like the strategy of God, they always stay out of the safe zone and get on the boards. And but maybe right now they will face off Red Canids, and this is going to be a early battle for them. That's things that they are trying to avoid a lot.
Corinthians well down in the bottom half of the map. Maybe they could take a few pot shots between this battle, which might rage between God and Red Kalunga. Red Kalunga will know how powerful God have been in match day 3. Only one side has gone out so far. Fights though starting to come in quickly here as teams begin to collide. This is Team Liquid. Nothing on the board, but desperate for kills, and they lose a player though. And FURIA trying to jostle around, trying to find some cover. Those glue walls have come up, but Team Liquid have gone.
Oh well, today is not a very good day for Team Liquid. They haven't been doing a very good performance today on today's match. But as we talked before, sometimes is not the day for the players, not the day for the team, and they can go home and watch the matches and fix their mistakes, think about to change their strategy, and start again. But for Team Liquid, this is only going to be possible next weekend.
It's going to be full of if-onlys for a lot of these sides after these 6 matches. Again, God and Santos quiet, but they are the teams who have been setting the pace in round 3. Black Dragons, disappointing match day for them so far.
Yeah, today is a really important day for the teams from Group C, which is Team Liquid, Red Canids, Santos, Pain, God, and Meta, because today is the only day they have to show this weekend what they came for, and that's what happened with God and Santos. Tomorrow they don't play, only next weekend, but they did their best today. And that's the contrary of Red Canids and Team Liquid and Pen also. But highlights points for Meta Gaming, who are doing so well in this competition, all the way from Serie B. But right now they are facing the top victor, and this is going to be a little bit of trouble for them. Or for God, because Metagaming know that, and maybe they want to take the top from God.
It would be a nice scalp for Meta Gaming. God didn't have the best of games in Kalahari in the previous map. Maybe a little bit shaken. Corinthians have grown in confidence. Once again, not heading back to the lobby too early. Go count relatively low. 10 sides still in it. You can hear the firepower, though, starting to rain down. Teams, they have to rotate. They've got to get onto the move, but they don't want to get caught out in positions like this. And Corinthians trying to fire back. They've got the high ground, but will it be enough with a lack of real cover? But they are putting in some pain where they can.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of grunting, but there are targets below them and also on the bridge. And time to get in the car, but they didn't get very far in that one, did they?
I don't think so.
No acceleration. Change your car, change your vehicle.
This is some strategy that Red Kalunga always use, rotation by cars most of the time. But that didn't work very well because the car can easily get explode, and then it's an easy kill for the opponent.
Corinthians sensing blood here. There's a bit of loot to be had as well. Corinthians have grown in this tournament. It's taken them a long time, but
finally, and they got 3 points in this match right now. And even if they go back to the lobby right now, they still score 1 more point because 2 teams are already down with 0 points.
Black Dragons yet to prove what they're about.
It's such a shame for Black Dragons because last weekend I think they went pretty good. They were in a good position on the scoreboard, but this weekend it wasn't the best for them. But they still got tomorrow to do something about that because they are from Group B, and Group B plays today and tomorrow.
No rest for the Wicked in Free Fire. B&A tomorrow afternoon. From the Brazilian Free Fire League, it's gone a little bit quiet here. A lot of focus on Black Dragons, but they haven't done a lot in this Bermuda map, this round 6, as we look from right on the top as to where the sides are. God, floating ground towards the bottom, Santos towards the top of the map, near the shipyard, near his bullseye. Teams who've been doing most damage, teams who've been getting the booyahs, well, one of those sides take the final booyah of the afternoon.
And the safest is going to shrink once more, and now we're going to see where it will go, and if it's going to be good for God or for Santos. But also FURIA, Vivo Keyd, and Paygame, they are in a very good position. They are right in the middle of the safe zone, so this is good for them. And we got 1 player alive from Red Kalunga, which is good for them because he's holding a position on their scoreboard, and right now he can score at least 1 point. But still bad because Red Kalunga really need points today. And here comes Black Dragons for Meta Gaming. That's going to be a very interesting battle.
And Black Dragons needing some kill points as well. Still nothing on the board for them. Hoping to change that shortly. Firefights, few and far between. It's gone back to, we had those 2 matches, Purgatory and Kalahari just before, and teams were thrown together quickly. But as we know, when it's a little bit quiet early on, it gets very hot, very sticky. Shortly afterwards in these games where the teams are more compact, but they're thrown together, can't get out of the firefight, and they really have to step forward or step back into the lobby.
Wow.
The Meta standing the ground so far as Black Dragons have pushed, but still nothing on the board. That's going to change though, surely. And we get Red Kalunga head back to the lobby. Still nothing on the board for Black Dragons. They've lost players, so they could lose more here, but they are desperate to get something. They finally got a kill, but at what price? 4 on the board for them, and metagaming go. So Black Dragons then coming out on top. It's cost them, but they've got 4 players, or rather they got 4 kills.
And Black Dragons already spotted Corinthians.
Out on the move, Corinthians I think were trying to move in there quickly, and they got caught out in the open. But Black Dragons got that little battle, but I think they're going to pay the price here because Corinthians moved forward quickly. They saw their opportunity. They took some damage as well, but they moved in, and Corinthians on to 5. And Black Dragons, I think, just getting themselves out of trouble there, but it looked grim indeed.
Yeah. In one of the teams from Black Dragons.
Let's Flamengo go. Still no sign of God, no sign of Santos. This is also familiar with the Santos now getting a bit of hammer from Pain Gaming. Santos may be forced on the move, likewise Pain Gaming as well. And God probably there looking on as ever, looking down. 7 sides, 25 players. Santos just kind of wedged in on that far side.
Yeah, but this is not a very good position for them because they are not inside of the safe zone. And Pain Gaming probably know it's Santos right now, and even though they're not holding a good position, they're going to not forgive Santos. And finally we see God.
God and FURIA in action, but God still with 4 players. And they will use that numerical advantage. But FURIA, Black Dragons have gone out. As we look at FURIA and that tussle with God, down to 6. FURIA now, a late charge from them. They've got the bit between their teeth as they race forward. And are pressing here on God, and God have gone! God have gone out again relatively early. Great chance this for Santos then to, first of all, get the booyah, get more points, close that gap on the top. Will they knock God off? Because Santos now have seen FURIA take down God, and now Santos have come in for the kill, and FURIA are in trouble here, and they might be heading back to the lobby very quickly. Santos knew when to time their run to perfection, really. Corinthians still in it. Vivo Keyd still in it as well. Vivo Keyd at full strength. Just the 3 kills for them, but we're down to 4 sides. Santos getting a little bit of hammer. Or rather, Corinthians getting a bit of a hammer. Vivo Keyd on the move. So difficult to keep track of what's happening. But it's Santos on the kosh as we look at Modestia and Vivo Keyd.
Oh, and Santos decided to join the party against Vivo Keyd and Corinthians, but also there is Pain Game on the other side. And we can see that the Santos, they split their players, and one of them remained on the top view to take care of Pain Game. Uh-oh.
Although Santos, though, probably, I think, by accident, not by design, that they were so spread out. So are we going to get a new winner? Santos is still there. Can they get another booyah? But we're down to 3. Corinthians have gone. Corinthians have gone out. So down to 3 sides. Santos still there, still pressing. But Vivo Keyd looking strong. Pain Gaming go. Down to 2 sides again. Santos still in there. And Vivo Keyd are out there as well. Who's going to take this final booyah? The fights are coming in. Still, the battle rages. Double kills are mounting up. Vivo Keyd now looking strong, and Santos are on the back foot here. It's 3 against 2. Vivo Keyd, can they take their first booyah of the day? Santos pegged in, struggling here, nowhere to go. Looking very weak. Vivo Keyd looking very, very strong in team. And they come for the kill. Santos have gone. Booyah! And Vivo Keyd coming good, coming strong at the end to take the final booyah of round 3. Vivo Keyd then breaking the stranglehold of God and Santos in this round 3 match day.
That was actually very good for Vivo Keyd, John, because they were Santos was right behind of Vivo Keyd, and they were about to lose their position on the scoreboard. So this Booyah came right on time for them, and also was good for for Santos as well, because God, they were down very early on the game, not very early, but on the right time for Santos. So today was good for both sides, for Vivo Keyd, Santos, and God Sports.
God then, as they did in the previous match in Kalahari, not laying down the law, because they were the top dogs in the first 2 maps and they struggled a little bit. This is a familiar pattern now, isn't it, in this Brazilian Free Fire League? Sides who go ahead early on then start to struggle a bit, or good showing by God really on the whole, but we shall see with the points board. I think they're still top, but it's going to be tight because Santos did well again. Vivo Keyd took their first Booyah. The 2 sides below God. We shall see shortly where those 3 teams are at the top of the table.
Yes, and even though Santos didn't get the Booyah this time, they got lots of points for killing. So that's what we are talking about. Sometimes you don't get points by Booyahs, but you get lots of points by killing. And we can see right now that Santos got 17 points in the second place, which is it's lots of points on the scoreboard against God. So I don't think they pass God on the scoreboard, but also they got a lot of points in the difference. And they don't play tomorrow, so was really good for them. And Vivo Keyd got the Booyah with 20 points, which was really good. It makes lots of great difference between Vivo Keyd and God. And in the third place, FURIA, who played beautifully today. What was very good for them, because they were about to go to the relegated zone today, but they stepped up their game. And they are right now on the other side of the board. And Corinthians, good for Corinthians. This last 2 match was really important for Corinthians. The last 3 match was really good for them, because they found themselves on the top 5. And now they finished today with more 12 points. And Pain Game with 9 points. And Black Dragons on the 6th position with 8 points. And surprisingly, the MVP of this match was from FURIA. And FURIA is on the 30th place of this match, and sometimes we get, most of the times actually, we got the MVP from the Booyah victory. So, but this time FURIA got the MVP for this match.
BL 7, 4 kills on the board for him. So a different name then on the Booyah in our 6th and final match of the afternoon.
And we got Flamengo in the 7th place, followed by God, that only scored 6 points, which is okay for them, because they got a very advantage front of the other teams. But still, that's really good. And Meta Game in the 9th place, followed by Red Kalunga with 1 single point by kill, and Team 1 that only scored 1 point as well by kill, and Team Liquid with 0 points.
Well, the 6th and final Booyah then of the afternoon going to Vivo Keyd, after Santos and God had dominated the early proceedings, and Vivo Keyd back in the mix. We'll see who is at the top of the charts so far. It was God, closely followed by Santos and Vivo Keyd, which we'll see in a second or two if that has changed. But it's going to be tight, Carol, whatever happens.
Yes, for sure, John. And I'm very excited to see the scoreboard. I always get so excited to see the last points, because it's crucial for each team. So it's really important for God to have these points in advantage of the other teams, especially because they don't play tomorrow. They belong from Group C. And this weekend, Group B, it's going to play the 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. But God did a spectacular day today in Santos as well, because they only got today to get more points, and that's most important for God, because they got a very big advantage in front of the other teams.
God doing their work very effectively in round 3 over the 6 games, as we confirm the different maps then and the different Booyahs. Vivo Keyd coming on strong in match number 6, but pretty much An afternoon dominated by God and by Santos.
That was a really good day for God and for Santos. And Vivo Keyd managed to do the last booyah, which is very good for them. They needed this booyah. And here we can see the highlights of the days, John. Santos got more points, more kills, and the MVP of the day. So Santos is in the first of all of them. So with 98 points for killings, 46 points by kill, John. This is really good. And Juan from Santos got the 19 points, which is very good. But also, God got 2 of their players on the individuals kill points. So this is good for God as well.
3 top dogs really from round 3 over the 6 matches.
And here it is, the MVP list. We got on the very first place, General. The General from God Sports with 27 points by killing. That followed by Dead God from Vivo Keyd. Dead God is a really good player, for sure. I have heard about him so much from last season. He was really good as well. And we got here 2 more players from Santos and from God as well. So today we only see from God team and Santos team. That was a really good day for these 2 teams.
Very good afternoon then for God, for Santos and Vivo Keyd coming in strong as well. They were the teams who set the pace in round 3 of the Brazilian League.
But what we really want to see is the scoreboard, John. I'm very excited to see these points, the difference of points. This is very exciting.
Oh, desperate to see where those 3 teams are. Have God kept top of the table? Have Santos overtaken the Vivo Keyd, of course, lurking close behind? Super table in just a second. So there you go, bang on cue. Well, God then,
wow,
just by the 1 point. And Vivo Keyd moving into second place as Santos drop into third. But just look how close it is at the top.
Yes, they their first, second, and third place. They only got 1 point difference. But I mean, that's awesome. So Vivo Keyd, they got the last booyah, which was crucial for them to don't let Santos be over them on the scoreboard. So that's excellent. And also I was talking about FURIA team that were on the other side of the board, but right now they find themselves on the 5th place. So this is awesome for FURIA, for sure. In meta game as well, they are right now on the 10th place. This is really good for them. Not really good for Red Kalunga Team 1 and Pay Game, that once more we are seeing them on their relegated zone.
Well, Esports, who started the day as leaders, drop into 4th, but they will be happy with that because they're in action tomorrow and maybe could take or retake the leadership.
Yeah, and tomorrow Vivo Keyd is going to play again. So tomorrow they have the opportunity to get the top, to be on the top and take that from God, because God don't play until next week. And so Vivo Keyd is all in your hands tomorrow. So we are expecting a lot of things from you. And also tomorrow we are going to watch our more aggressive group A. So tomorrow, John, is going to be a lot of interesting happen. Lots of things, good things going on.
Oh, good things went on today. Gordon, Santos and Vivo Keyd, the top dogs. More action tomorrow from round 4 of the Brazilian Free Fire League. Make sure you join us then.
Thanks for being here with us today, and we are waiting for you tomorrow as well. Bye-bye.